Hit the wrong button. Anyway, hi. I'm Yo Anaseo. Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to my live stream. I'm Nomadic Kitty. I accidentally hit the live button. I was trying to situate my charger, but I accidentally hit the live button. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're here today. It's fine. Thank you everybody. Welcome to my live stream. Oh, like I said, I accidentally hit the live button. But this is welcome to weekly K-pop live stream. I'm a little early tonight because I got something going on. Hello, Felix, under your bed. Y'all come on, gather in. I was supposed to start at 8, but I got things going. I actually locked my keys and I locked both of my car keys in one of my car, and I'm waiting for somebody. So if y'all see me, so anytime during this live stream, I got to get up. I'll let y'all know because I'm waiting for the locksmith to get here, and my son is going to meet him, and hopefully everything will go well. This just tells you the day I'm having. But welcome to my live stream where we talk about K-pop weekly. There is a formula to this, just in case some of you are new or a lot of you guys watch it on a rewatch. I'll just say hola, namaste, anyo, annyeonghaseyo, guten tag, guten tag, and everything else today. Like I said, today has just been a day. I locked my keys in my car, so I just thank God I have insurance. But it's not fun to lock your keys in the car. But make sure you like, share, subscribe to the live stream. I'm gonna try to be semi-brief today. Again, because I'm going through this lock car thing, and we'll just see how we're just gonna play it by ear, y'all. We're just gonna see how it goes, okay? We're just gonna play it by ear. So this is how my live streams go, just in case. Hello, Shelby. Just in case y'all didn't know how my live streams go, I'm gonna explain it to you in the order of operations to make things a bit more concise. First, we're gonna discuss all the BTS updates. Then we're gonna discuss the HYBE update. Yo, your AK. I lock my keys. Both of my car keys, I locked them in my car. So yeah, I'm having a day today. I'm waiting for the locksmith to get here. So I might have to, I don't know how long it's going to take him to get here though. Because I live in the middle of nowhere. So hello, Shelling P. Yeah, but yeah. So if I have to get up, y'all, it's because the locksmith is here. But I'll let y'all know. I'll still stay live, but I just have to get up and tell my son to go let the locksmith. Yeah, that sucks. I lock my keys in my car. Oh, it's dumb stuff that happened to me. But anyway, like I was saying, this is how the live stream goes. We talk about BTS updates first, then we talk about all the HYBE updates. Then we talk about the updates in K-pop, and then we talk about things that are going around in Korea. Now, I can't get to all of the updates for K-pop. I just really talk about the things that kind of affect the business or things that I've heard about. There may be things that I have not heard about that I rely upon y'all to tell me about. And so the same thing about Korea. There's a lot of things that go on in Korea. I usually talk just about the things that are really, really popular. Hello, Natalie. And the same thing with HYBE. So if I miss something, I'm just letting y'all know. Y'all bring it up and remind me. Be like, hey, Kiki, you missed something. I'll be like, ooh. And so I'll bring it up. So but yeah, that's how it goes. So BTS updates, HYBE updates, K-pop updates, like general K-pop, and then Korea updates and things that are going on in Korea. So that just let you guys know. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. The content, I've been doing a lot of YouTube shorts. Oh, FYI, AK says, I will soon start viewing on my other account. Toss me a wrench on that one so I can still run security for you. Okay, I sure will. I will toss you a wrench when you get in. So, hey, everybody. But yes, I will, AK. I appreciate it. This has been a long day. This has been a long day. It's a long weekend, but we're going to get through it, y'all. So, the first thing, we're going to give it a little bit of time. I usually try to wake people. And again, I'm early tonight. I was supposed to come on at 8. But again, like I said, I locked my keys in my car. So things that had to change a little bit. I hurt my hand because we were trying to stick the coat hanger in the car to get me and my son out there trying to stick the coat hanger in there. Girl, ladies. I hurt my hand trying to stick the coat hanger. Then we're trying to stick a stick in there. And then I got the coat hanger in there and pulled my handle, and it still doesn't unlock my car. You got your shirt. You love it. Marie Miller got her shirt. So anyway, this is one of the mini. I have a K-pop apparel shop. And Marie Miller just ordered some t-shirts. I ordered this shirt like a week and a half ago. It says it says grown, sexy, and K-pop. I have many different designs. Let me bring that up. Many different designs. So if you go to my channel, either on your phone, and hey, I got that, get that merch, girl. Yeah. So I designed a bunch of K-pop shirts for K-pop fans that have different slogans on it. Yeah, I'm wearing it. Yeah, I'm wearing it now. This is my other shirts come in on Monday. So I've ordered samples of every single one of my designs, and I have some more coming in on Monday. I ordered this one like 2 weeks ago. This was my first design, the grown and sexy K-pop. So I design shirts that are more for the older K-pop fans, those of us who are mature. Most of my audience who do watch this channel are older. K-pop fans are over the age of 35. Most of the people subscribe to my channel, and I got a few young ones out there. I appreciate it all. Marie says she wearing her too. Marie got her. She ordered her shirt. I'm gonna have more discounts and stuff coming up. I'm gonna be adding more designs probably within the next week or two. I have to go in there and design it. These are all original designs by me. So I wanted just something that was a little bit more mature, something that was a little bit different than the other K-pop shirts that I've seen on Amazon and other places, and just something for the grown folks, for those of us who been around K-pop a long time, or for those of us who are new to K-pop. It doesn't matter either way. But I just wanted to create shirts that is just more like I like. Like I like things that are a little fun and kitschy, and so I think right now we're having 20 or 25% off discount. And so definitely check out my shop. I'm always updating and trying to revamp my shop. This week I didn't do much, but I probably will next week. Also, if you're into fan fiction, I do write fan fiction on Wattpad. Nomadic Kitty FF is my name on Wattpad. I have a whole ongoing series. Um, okay, let's see. AK said this is her second account. Okay, there we go. And I can't on my t-shirts and my merchandise, I cannot use BTS logos. I cannot use BTS name. I I will get copyrighted for that. So I can't. That's against the law. I'm unable to use any kind of army logo, BTS logo. I don't use. I can't use the members' names or anything like that. I can't do that. I'm not even gonna try to do that. So I can't use the members' names. It's for K-pop. It's fan-based T-shirts. Like I have Rap Line. I have a Maknae shirt. I have a Hyung Line shirt. I have K-pop Baddie shirt. I have saying that I'm a second generation in a sixth generation world, like stuff like that. Like that's why I can't use BTS's names or anything like that. I will definitely get copyrighted. They'll take down my store for that. People have tried that on. I mean, I've seen Etsy people do stuff like that, but I'm like, oh no, I ain't trying to. I'm not trying to do copyright and me get in trouble. So no, I wouldn't use anything that BTS has designed or created, like BT21 or any of their stuff. I wouldn't do that anyway, just personally, just me, even if I didn't get a copyright hit. Um, yeah, I do hip hop to K-pop. Yep, I do hip hop to K-pop. Gonna do another shirt. My next design is gonna be soul to soul. SOUL to SEO wait, SEOUL, so soul to soul. That's my next shirt that I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna put like something like a design on there or something. I know me and AK, I love AK. Me and AK been knowing each other for a while. Mostly erotica style. Mine is kind of like a K drama. Like it has like the erotica, but it's not really erotica, but it has like stuff, like that. You like the idea of soul to soul, so do I. I thought about that the other day. I was asleep. And then also if you look at my YouTube channel, for those of you that are subscribed, I also design shorts. Like I did put a lot of work into my shorts. Like because at the end of the day, I'm an arts person. I'm a creative at the end of the day. So I'm into the visual art, and I'm into always thinking about doing things new and stuff. And so if you like my shorts, I have many more shorts. Um, I've fallen into like the AI rabbit hole. Like and I had to claw my way out. But I like I like editing and making videos. And also this week I do have other videos coming out Monday. I have a video coming out about my BTS weeks experience. I have another video, another K-pop, like an edited, like a real video. And then I have another commentary video, which will probably be after that, which I'll be discussing. I have two ideas for one of my commentary videos, and I haven't figured out which one I'm gonna do yet. Um, but so y'all stay tuned. Again, I do at least two long form videos a week, two or three. Are my Amazon store still up now? Mm-mm. I used to have three different online businesses, y'all. For y'all who didn't know, before my mom passed away, I had three online successful businesses, but I couldn't keep up. I couldn't keep my mom was helping me do my orders and processing and all that. And there is no way I couldn't keep it up. And my heart wasn't in it. So once my mom passed away, um, I closed all my stores. And I used to do bath and body stuff, skincare, hair care. I did stuff like that. I had my own line of hair care products, um, and everything. And I gave it all up. It was just too much for me to try to without any help. I know I've been busy. I do drop a lot of videos. Y'all. I have work a regular job. Like I work 5 days a week, about 10 hours a day at my regular job. I do work from home. Yeah, mama. Yeah, rest in peace, mama. Um, but yes, I work a lot. I work a lot. On the weekends, I'm gone. Like I work about 7 days a week. Like I really don't have an off. I need to take a vacation, but I don't. I mean, I work at my regular job 5 days a week. On the weekends, I'm editing videos, producing videos. I do a lot of my edits on the weekend. I take my kids places. We've been gone all day. Tomorrow, speaking of things that are happening, tomorrow is Chuseok. If, if you see on my community post, it is the Korean Thanksgiving. It's also the Mid Autumn Festival for China. So tomorrow, me and my kids will be going, and I will be filming at the festival tomorrow. So there's a big annual festival. They have it every year, and so we go there and we watch the performances. We eat Asian food and all that. So again, my love of K-pop is not just superficial. Like if you watch my videos and my playlist has destination and vlogs. I go to K-pop concerts, but I also go to Asian events. So I go to a lot of Asian festivals, a lot of Asian restaurants, a lot of Korean places. I love Korean food. My kids, they love Korean. They love Korean food. We hang out in little Koreatown. Um, so it's not just ooh K-pop. No, I really like Korean history and Korean culture. So it's not like this is not like a game to me. This is something that we actually participate in um with the Korean American community here where I stay. So I'm just letting y'all know. But yeah, this week just get ready, y'all, because I'll be crank. Once my channel became monetized, I started to crank out more and more and more and more videos. And then I also had to bring up the memberships. For those of you, next week or maybe later this week, I'll do a live stream. I'll do another live stream where I'll try to give out memberships again. I was thrown for a curveball tonight because I locked my keys in my car. For those of you who didn't hear, I locked my keys in my car and I'm waiting for the locksmith to come. So if I tell you guys hold on and I'll get up, I got to get up, I'll be back. But that means the locksmith is here. But I will try to come on here and do a live stream where I'm just giving away memberships. So you guys can see some of my K-pop confidentials. But some of y'all who we're gonna talk about that teddy bear later. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that later. But some of y'all who are members who pay for a um membership, then you will be able to see like the rumors and the gossip that I have about K-pop. Again, for those of you who don't know, I know people who work in the K-pop industry. So a lot of stuff that I come and I talk to y'all about, you kind of have to like read between the lines because I'm not a gossip channel. But if you are a member, you will read gossip. Like I will post things on my post that only my members can see. And so there's a wild post that I just posted about sugar that I can't bring up because it's just for my members. And I don't necessarily believe it, but it was wild. But that's what I've heard that. And so I like I said, sometimes I'll come in here and I'll drop some gems for y'all. But for the most part, I'm not a gossip channel, but I do have gossip. I do have tea on certain groups and stuff. And like I said, some of the tea that I have is groups I don't even know about because I don't like girl groups. But some of the tea that I have, I do try to share with you guys because I'm a BTS based channel. Off topic for a sec. Are you watching Gen? I don't like Gen V. I have never watched Peacemaker. Is that on HBO? I don't have HBO. I like Alien Earth. Yes. Yes, I've seen K-pop Demon Hunters, and I did a review, and I did another video. I did two videos about K-pop Demon Hunters. Um, what's drama, sugar? Ain't no drama right now. I just talked about rumors that I heard. Oh, we're gonna talk about that teddy bear. That teddy bear. We're gonna talk about that teddy bear in a minute. Oh yeah, I got the tea. Yeah, I got the tea. Yeah. So, like I said, for those of you who are members, and you will be able to see like my K-pop confidential posts underneath my post or my community tab. I don't know what YouTube is calling it, but anyway. So that's my introduction. So let us begin. I got my book. Y'all see this book? My kids bought this for me because I like House of the Dragon and I like Lord of the Rings, and so my kids got this for me. By the way, it's leather bound. So I come in here and I write all my notes because a lot of stuff be going on. And I don't know when the locksmith is gonna get here, so we'll see. Okay. We shall see. So I'm gonna hit you on Bookface DMs. You want to do a chat about K-pop? I am ready to do a chat about K-pop Demon Hunters anytime. And Alien Earth. I love Alien. I'm a huge Predator, Terminator, Alien fan. I am a fan of those three properties. I've read the comics, I've read book series, I've read non-canon book series. I'm a big fan of that. You almost missed everything. I'm early. Yes, I am early. That's why I'm trying to slow down, because I know that some of y'all are waiting for me 8 o'clock. But again, Marie Miller, I said that I locked my keys in the car. So I'm waiting for the locksmith to show up. So I'm waiting for him. So if y'all hear me dip in and dip out or whatever, it's because I'm waiting for the locksmith. You see me fiddling around with my screen. So, but I'm waiting for him to call. And so, or my charger is not working. My charger is real stupid. So, it's girl. I was so frustrated today. I was me and my son trying to stick the hanger in there, and it did not work. Like I'm trying to, and I got it in there and I pulled the door handle. Hello from Saudi Arabia. Hello. Assalamu alaikum from Saudi Arabia. But yeah, I hooked the door handle and I pulled it, and my car still didn't come open. So I gave up. So I just called the locksmith guy. My insurance is covered. So I was like, but I don't know when he's gonna get out here, because again, y'all, I live in the middle of nowhere. Some of y'all seen my membership videos where I'll show you where I live. Y'all know I live in the middle of nowhere. But anyway, let's get on to it. So first up is BTS updates. Okay. Who should we talk about first? Oh yeah, let's talk about J-Hope. So J-Hope did a Weverse. If you guys have anything to add about J-Hope, did a Weverse. He came on and did live. He did a live. J-Hope, I've seen some pictures of him that people posted on YouTube that he has been with different designers and visiting different people. So J-Hope is kind of like taking a back seat, but he's still out there doing things. And like he did a Weverse and he was on there for like, I think he did a Weverse. It was like 13, 14 minutes. And usually I repost a Weverse, but I didn't even repost it. Tay just went out to dinner. Oh, did he? Yeah, we're gonna get into Tay in a minute. So J-Hope is the first one we're starting with. So J-Hope. And so he's been kind of quiet. Okay, then we get into JK. Last week I talked about JK did a Weverse and he was cooking on a Weverse, and I was gonna come and do the recipe, but I hadn't had time to do the recipe. But JK, I'm trying to think, did JK do anything this week? Am I missing something? Because I don't think JK did much this week. Besides him cooking on live last week that I posted. Y'all let me know. I don't think I'm missing anything. I feel like I'm missing something about JK. But they were talking about like, his branding deals and stuff like that. So I don't think JK did too much of anything this week. He dropped the dance. Yes, he danced to Cordis on TikTok from what I heard. I have not seen it because I don't be doing TikTok like that. But I heard that he did dance to Cordis' song. Fashion? I think that's what he did. And he danced on TikTok. And I think somebody did post it. I think I saw like a little small couple of seconds. But JK is always phenomenal dancer. So he did good. Next, V. Let me check these off as I go. Let me check these off as I go. V was on Weverse a lot. There are videos where V, well, he wasn't on video, it was just his audio and his avatar. Yeah, J-Ho's been real quiet lately. But V, he went on Weverse a lot this week. Like, I could barely even keep up with V. I reposted his video where he was on there, but he did a lot of things where you can just hear his voice and you couldn't see him. And so he posted one video that people were saying that he was dropping hints about the BTS album. Now, I don't know if this is true or not because I rewatched the Weverse because it was 5 o'clock in the morning my time. I'm like one eye open, one eye closed, trying to record and watch this Weverse. But I didn't hear anything that he went, so I went and rewatched it again. So maybe am I missing something? I thought it was just Kim Tae-young being weird like he always is. Like I just thought he was being cryptic and weird and ethereal. Like I'm Kim Tae-young, And he was on there. And okay, hold on, y'all. Let me, cause he was on there. Hold on, y'all. Let me hold on. Let me do my Kim Tae-young. Hold on. Anyo, 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. Army. Hey, Army. 안녕. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. He was out there with, once again, somehow Kim Tae-young, all of his shirts have lost sleeves. All of them. All of his shirts. His last video, thank you, Sheldon P. My God. My God today, y'all. If I'm watching this video going, am I the only person that don't know what the hell's going on? I'm like, am I the only person lost up in here? I'm sitting there watching this video and I'm like, maybe I need to rewatch it again. I rewatched it again and I'm like, I'm reading the translator. I sat there and watched HYBE. Y'all know how much I love my boy HYBE. I watched his video recap of this Weverse and I was still confused. People were like, oh, he dropped hints about an album or about a solo. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. All his shirts ain't got no sleeves. All the sleeves fell off. Tay can't even buy a shirt. Y'all help. We need to do hashtag find Kim Tae-young sleeves. AK said it's a bit sus. Girl, every video. I know. I'm like, okay, boy, I know you. He been working out. Kim Tae-young has always been skinny and the thin one of the group. He's always been skinny, never liked working out. He went to the military and did his mandatory military service. He came out the mandatory military service. Now he's in the gym all the time. And he is in the gym all the time, and you can tell him he feeling himself right now. Kim Tae-young he's having a renaissance. Okay. So that's why every shirt he wear is a tank top. Every shirt ain't got no sleeves. He all up in the camera. He just all up in the just you can't even see his neck no more. He gonna make sure he gonna be in this camera with no sleeves on. Yeah, he is jacked. So he went from kind of scrawny and skinny to now he has muscle definition in his arms and his testicles. I love HYBE. I love HYBE. HYBE is one of the first BTS channels I told y'all I've ever subscribed to, and I get a lot of stuff that I find from him. Yeah, he's showing off, girl. He is feeling himself. Like Beyonce say, feeling myself. I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling my like he knows how to tease BTS fans. So and he's already a very gorgeous, good-looking guy. So it's not like I'm taking anything from him. But I watched that Weverse live and I didn't understand what hints he dropped by the album. I still couldn't figure it out. I was like, the chest to cleave be chesting. I'm telling you, girl. I was like, okay, he's a good look. I mean, he seems a bit full of himself before, but now I'm like, okay, you really. But I didn't understand what hints he dropped. I watched it and I didn't know what he was talking about. Like I was like, what is he talk? So I was like, is this him? Because Kim Tae-young is kind of, if you don't know, I know some of y'all don't know K-pop. Kim Tae-young is kind of like airy fairy in the trees. Like he'll come on there and be like, blue butterfly birds. Army, I'm feeling I'm ethereal today. And you just be like, oh boy. I'm like, so I didn't know what Kim Tae-young was talking about. So somebody said he was dropping hints about the album. Some people said he was dropping hints about a solo album. I watched it. I couldn't decipher. I don't speak Kim Tae-young. I don't speak V. So I need maybe y'all can tell me what album he was dropping. He just came on there and he was like, y'all are not going to like me. And I'm like, what are you, I was like, what you talking, boy? Girl, boy, bye. I was like, I don't know what this man talking about. He can be very cryptic and confusing sometimes, but that's part of his charm. That's why people like him. I mean, I understand people, Kim Tae-young is not my kind of dude, but to each his own. So also V flew to Paris because he's doing his fashion week thing too. So Kim Tae Young was at the airport looking good. He flew to Paris like a couple of days ago. He was in the studio vibing. Girl, he was vibing. I don't know if he was in the studio drinking or studio vibing. I both. Girl, I don't know what that man was doing in the studio. I don't know. I was like, are you drinking? Like he took pictures of his food. And then he took pictures of his weight. And then he took pictures, I guess, of him on a treadmill or some kind of bicycle or something with his stats, like how many miles he ran. And I'm like, okay, I don't, sir, you need a girlfriend. Like, I don't really understand. Oh my God. Like, I didn't understand. I was just like, sir, you seem like you need a hobby or a girlfriend or something. They said he was speaking three different languages. Girl, he was speaking something. He was speaking Korean, English, Spanglish, Thais, Taiwan, and Vietnamese. Yeah, sir, you need a girlfriend. I don't know. He need a hobby. He need to get another pet. I don't know. But this man, I don't know what this man will do. But he landed in Paris and he's there for Fashion Week. He's gonna, and then people were saying he was posting pictures of him during dinner or stuff like that. Again, I don't follow them on social media, so I have to ask you guys what they do on social media. But he was posting videos of him out to dinner. And child, we're gonna get into that because him posting dinner last week has sparked a dating rumor. And I'm gonna do a whole video about dating rumors, but I'm gonna talk a little bit about it tonight when I get into these K-pop rumors, okay? Well, we're gonna talk about this stupid dating thing, you know. I was like, hey, BTS Army 12. But we're gonna talk about Kim Tae Young and the dating rumor that I find just stupid. Just stupid. Did I lose my internet? This okay, I thought I lost my Wi-Fi. I was like, this just one more thing. I locked my keys in my car, I lost my Wi-Fi now. His partner will never have a dull day. Kim Tae Young type of dude to wake you up in the middle of the night and be like, you be asleep, he be like, babe, you be like, uh-huh. Well, honey, babe, I have an idea for a song. He one of them partners. I'm telling you, he'll wake you up at 3 o'clock in the morning talking about he has an idea for a song or a piece of art. Like I could just draw this thing and you be like, if you don't go to sleep, it is 3 a.m., honey. Yeah, write it down. Do whatever you gotta do. But I'm trying to sleep. Like he the type that kind of person that just scattered. Just and people love that about him, that he's just so eclectic and artsy and what? I'm just saying he would. He'd be the type of dude to wake you 3 o'clock. You think you now you think he waking you up at 3 o'clock in the morning for something else. You like, woo, yeah, baby. And then he's like, babe, and you're like, yeah, yeah, yes, honey. What we doing? And you're like, he's like, I have an idea for a design. And you be like, you got an idea for a design? Yeah, babe, I got an idea for a design and we could put up blue and we could put up yellow curtains over here. And you be like, okay, honey, go ahead, go, honey, go. That's nice. Go back to sleep. Like, you gonna get your signals crossed because Kim Tae-yeon be on be in the clouds. He be in the ether. So, yeah, I'm sleep dummy. You should be too. But people love that about him. A lot of people love V. V is one of the most popular members of BTS, by the way, if y'all didn't know. So he's going to be in Fashion Week for Celine. He's the brand ambassador for Celine. We'll see him. Going on to Jin. Jin's been pretty quiet. Jin went to Gucci and Jin was wearing that shirt, or the shirt was wearing him, or the shirt knew the assignment. We all know that shirt. Jin had a shirt that Gucci, I'll put shorts where y'all see where Jin was at Fashion Week and he looked like he was in pain, but he was wearing this shirt and it was open, it was unbuttoned, and I was like, somebody did that to Jin. They was wrong for that. They're like, Jin, go out there with that shirt unbuttoned. Go on now, go on, go on now, go on out there. You got it. Wear that shirt, but no, you ain't got to button it up. And Jin just looked like he felt uncomfortable because Jin is not. He's the modest member of BTS. He's not one to be having his chesticles all out and dancing around like Jin ain't that type. Jin seems very traditional or reserved. Yeah, Kim Tae-young is free spirit. Yes, Jin. So Jin announced that he's gonna have an encore. I went to his concert. If you have not checked out on my vlogs and destinations, I went to Jin's concert when they came to Dallas a couple of months ago in July, and I had fun. Me and my road dog Jennifer, and we had fun. And Jen says he has announced an encore. He's going to do two more dates, October 31st and the 1st, in South Korea. Um, he had out his tour was sold out, and so he decided to do two more encore dates in South Korea. Jen was on the floor at his concert. Jen's concert was good. Jen's concert was fun. It went by quick. He sounded amazing. I post lots of shorts. I posted a vlog. It was my first BTS member concert. It's my only BTS member concert. I was excited. And Jen was professional, on time. His concert went boom, boom, boom. He didn't talk too much. Yeah, Marie saw him in New Jersey. He didn't talk too much. He didn't babble on too much. He's boom, boom, boom. He did play like a little game with the audience, but it didn't seem long. Because there's some concerts I've been to, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I'm just sitting there like, okay, like I'm looking at my phone like when this is over. But Jen, it went by real quick. Like it just boom, flew by. It just seemed like it flew by. But again, I was excited. I was really excited. Y'all watched the vlog. Y'all watched the shorts about Jen. And I have playlists for each one of the members, by the way. So if you guys didn't know, if you look at my playlist, I have a playlist for every single one of the members. So if you're just interested in one member, you ain't interested in none of these other mofos, do you? Then do you? So, but Jen, yes, it's interesting that it's interesting that he announced two more dates. I don't know. That was just weird to me. Because I was like, how much money do Big Hit need? I'm thirsty. I'm like, how much money does Big Hit need? But okay, if the fans are gonna go see it, I would, J Hope. Maybe J Hope would do an encore too. What do y'all think? I don't know if J Hope's gonna do an encore, but it's interesting. My next person is. Wait a minute, which one of y'all? No, they ain't here. ATP ain't here. Okay. So RM, let's talk about RM because some of y'all be claiming RM is your husband. Some of y'all got some of y'all got RM as a husband on your bingo card. Cause every time I post something about RM, I usually have the same two or three people going to my videos, my shorts and my videos, and y'all are like, ooh, RM, he husband, he my man. And I'm like, dang, RM be getting lots of love on my channel. He don't be getting a lot of love everywhere else. Like I don't get a lot of views when I post it, which I don't understand because to me RM is like the total package, like definition. He's smart. Marisa RM. So RM is some of y'all husbands out there. I don't know how many wives RM got, but he got a few. He's not the most popular, but he is the leader of BTS. And so in San Francisco, at a art museum, he is actually pairing with this museum in San Francisco called, I think the art museum is called MoMA. I think that's the name of it. It's a very high profile San Francisco art museum. I wish to God I could go and see this art exhibit. I wish to God that they would bring it. We have a Dallas Museum of Art here. I wish to God that BTS would partner with something here because I love art. And so RM, if you don't know, RM collects art. He loves art. He's partnered with other museums different times. And so he's bringing his collection because RM collects art, and also the gallery, the art gallery is also having their own stuff, and it was curated by RM. And I just like San Francisco is so lucky to just be able. I would be at that art museum every day. I'm telling you, because that's my thing. I'm so jealous. I'm like, I want to be there. I'm so jealous. Shelling P said J Hope did an encore concert, his last two concerts in South Korea. Okay, yeah, you're right, Shelling P. He did. He did. But I'm so jealous about the RM thing. I'm in my feelings. Like, I don't even want to talk about it because I'm like, art is my thing. I'm like, why can't I be? I'm out of San Francisco. So, good news for all those armies in California or the San Francisco Bay Area. Y'all, whatever. Whatever. I try not to be salty. Whatever. Okay. Whatever. Okay. Um, yeah, RM definitely has a niche following. And RM is intelligent. RM is to me is the total package. He's intelligent, he's thoughtful, he's a leader, he speaks in fluent English. RM went to this fashion show, and then last week, and I talked about it. They showed clips. They showed clips of RM surrounded by people, and you can see him talking. RM is very conversive. like RM is very conversive and he likes to interact with people. He's much more sociable than the rest of them, but he's kind of had to be because he was a leader and the only one that could speak fluent English. So they've always kind of pushed RM. But RM, I think his personality is just much more curious about people and things, and you know, RM's tall, and I think that like people gravitate from what I've heard towards RM. I told y'all. Now y'all ain't hearing from me, okay? Allegedly, I'm just putting it out there. I told y'all a long time ago, but if you've been here for a while doing all my live streams, that like a lot of like when RM comes to America, that in award shows that a lot of the sisters like RM. I keep telling y'all, like I heard some stories about certain stars, certain singers that have tried to push up on RM and didn't go well for them. But I have heard that the sisters like RM, that they gravitate towards him a lot. I mean, not because he's an English speaker, he's a rapper, he's a producer, he knows people in those circles. And I've heard the same thing, allegedly, don't y'all get me in trouble, about J-Hope. I heard, y'all ain't hearing from me, that like there are certain members of BTS that gravitate and that are, they ain't got no type, you know, they just like, they're curious about other different types of women. I don't know if RM likes black women, but I heard that black women like RM. Like I've heard many different women. Like if I name names, you'd be like, "What? What?" Have tried to step to RM in some sort of way, just because it's RM's real cool. He gives off a vibe of coolness, and so I've heard that many sister have tried to have tried to hook RM because they like ooh, and they like the way RM talk with his little weird accent that he has, and RM is incredibly intelligent. And so people like that. You know, he's cool, he's intelligent, he's rich, he's attractive. What is there not to like? So sorry, ladies. Sorry, ladies. I'm sorry. The women out here watching this video who RM is their husband. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to say your husband's cheating on you, but I'm just saying that they sliding in his DMs. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Allegedly, allegedly. He does exude a confidence about him. Even when he was younger, when I went back and watched those old videos of RM when he was 18, 19 years old, RM had a confidence about him in a way he carried himself was a lot older. He had a very self-assuredness to him. Sugar has that too, but Sugar's real introverted and shy and kind of like surly and broody about it. But RM has always exuded to me a confidence, and the way he carried himself was so like much like somebody older. The way he would do these lives and he would talk about music and his passion for music, and it sounded like somebody that was in their 30s, not somebody that was like 21, 22 years old. He always carries himself in a way that I think that women and men would find, men as well. I'm not saying it's just women, but men too find very attractive, and not just his physical looks and that the fact that he's rich and famous, but RM, the way if you hear him talk and you hear him do interviews and the way he carries himself, you can see why people would be like, "Oh, you know, I kind of like this dude." And that if you work with RM, collaborate with him, and do music with him, that you can't help but just for some women felt like they kind of was crushing on him a little bit. Like the more they got to know him, they realized that like I'm kind of crushing on this dude a little bit. But RM didn't reciprocate for whatever reason. Again, I don't know if he was seeing somebody or he wasn't interested. I don't know what it was, but he kept it. He always keeps everything very professional. So I've heard that about him. He's a very professional person, and not really going to be out there like all up in your face, you know, trying to hit on you or anything like that. So yeah, greatness will attract on any level, especially a man who's intelligent and a man who's very self aware. RM is a very, I mean, he's on his journey spiritually and emotionally. He's a spiritual person. He's on his journey emotionally, physically. I think RM, I could see RM leaving the business eventually. I think RM just wants to go live his life and just be a dude. RM just comes across as just a dude. Um, and I think he just wants to be a dude. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Sorry, State Farm is asking me if my service provider has arrived. I'm like, no, he has not. Um, but I yeah, RM is just a dude. I think RM is just he's just a guy. He's just he I think eventually he will probably most likely either start producing and writing and just fade off into the background and not really be out there. I think RM wants to really live his life. What's his family backstory? He probably did. He had a parents. He had two parents. I'm sure he probably did have an auntie or somebody to teach him that. I don't know a lot about Arm's backstory. I know he talks about his dad and his mom and he talks about his mom a lot. I remember our interviews that RM had. He has a mom and a younger sister, and he talks about his mom and his younger sister a lot in glowing terms. He's a very down to earth kind of guy. But yes, he talks about his mom a lot, that his mom did a lot. Even though his dad is there, but I think that there's, from what I can read between the lines, I think there's some kind of strife there. But he talks about from the interviews that I've seen, he talks about his family, he always brings up his mother, like his mother being the person that is like helped shape him and motivate him. And I think he's much more close to his mom and his sister than he is probably to his dad. That's from what I can glean. I might be wrong, but yeah, RM's gonna have that art thing, and I'm salty. Yeah. So anyway, let's move on to Jimin. So Jimin was at Fashion Week. He's at Dior. I posted. He also did a Weverse. I posted a Weverse. I posted the shorts. Now, let me just behave. Okay, Jimin look good. Jimin has lost a bunch of weight. He got on a Weverse saying how much weight he lost. He's been on a diet. He's been exercising. Jimin look good. Jimin has blonde hair now. Jimin didn't look like Jimin to me. I watched the whole Weverse 2 or 3 times. Jimin said that I'm sorry, I'm reading. They said the lock people supposed to be here in 35 minutes. So y'all, if I gotta get up, then y'all know. I'm not gonna get off the live stream, but I'll get up and tell my son to go handle it. But Jimin looked very sad. I even sent pictures to my sister-in-law, my K-pop bestie, and she said that Jimin looked sad. Every picture I saw, every video, everything that I saw of Jimin, he looked sad. He looked very, with no shirt either too, girl. He was looking good. But he looked sad. It's in the eyes. Like I said, look at the eyes. So I watched the videos, and once again, I tell y'all, when y'all watch videos, turn the sound off. Because, he watched the videos and armies are screaming and he's waving and people are, trying to direct him to go here, there, and everywhere. Armies are like, Jimin, 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 Jimin. So, and then some people have videos where there's music on the background. My video had music on the background. But if you turn the sound off, y'all turn the sound off and just watch Jimin's face. And even the still pictures I saw where Jimin were posing for the camera and people took pictures and they posted it on different websites and TikToks and Twitters and whatever. And you can see that Jimin his eyes looked so sad. Like his eyes had a look of pain and sadness that I don't think I've ever seen in Jimin. Like I've seen it when he was getting the death threats. When I watched the videos back in 2018, when I talked about y'all, he was getting the death threats and people were saying he was a fat pig and all this kind of stuff. Because of, like I said, if you have not seen my videos and you know about it, that he had a quote unquote dating scandal with an actress named Song Duan. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to say Voldemort's name, but I have a few Voldemorts. This actress, I won't say her name. I did videos and I did live stream talking about it, where she exposed Jimin. She posted videos on her TikTok of them together. And it has been years since they have been like, I wouldn't say they were in a relationship. They probably was just hooking up or just having fun. She, who shall not be named, that trick, who violated Jimin's privacy. And then people went online and came to my videos with craziness. Like it was crazy. Like I had to go on my certain videos and delete people's comments or cuss people out. She was very petty. She was very petty. I'm gonna do a live stream and we'll talk about this. I posted things to my members saying, "Oh, you won't hear from her again." Y'all can read between the lines. You won't hear from her again about Jimin. You won't hear from her again. That's all I can say. But he went in hiding for a whole month. He hasn't posted anything in between Weverse lives. People have hounded him on the internet. The crazy shippers came out. The toxic aunties came out. Everything out on Jimin like it was his fault and demonized him like it was his fault. His privacy was violated. And I have opinions. I think this person did what she did on purpose. I think this person, in my opinion, got with Jimin, and she got with him on purpose. I think maybe they were together. Maybe she thought it was going to go further, or other things were going to happen. And then when it didn't, she got salty. She got mad, and then now her career is on the tank. And I talked about the fact that this person is really not an actress. She's really a reality star. She got her start on one of these like Love Inferno, like one of these Korean reality dating shows. That's how she got her start. And then after that, she started getting bit roles on. So to call her an actress, to me, in my opinion, is a stretch. She has a TikTok account that I have not seen where she charges people. She has tried to expose other K-pop male singers before that she allegedly dated. Whether she allegedly dated these people, and again, I say date in the most loose way possible. I don't know what this person does for money. I don't know what kind of person this is. So I'm not gonna say I don't know anything about her. I'm just gonna say I have my own opinions that I'll keep to myself about this person and what this person is in the industry. I've heard things about this person. I've heard this person allegedly may or may not have tried to hem up other people for dubious reasons, for money, for contracts. She may be in different straits. There may be other people telling her to do these particular things. I'm just going to say less about that. Allegedly. So just think about that. You know, when people I told y'all before, in Asia, there's a lot of blackmail and K-pop, a lot. We have instance, criminal case after criminal case after criminal case this year of some K-pop singer or Korean influencer being blackmailed by other people for various reasons. He was sad and subdued. He was very subdued. He acted very skittish. He acted like a nervous, scared puppy. Like it was because of the incident with the quote unquote actress. I say that loosely, actress. And it was his first time addressing Army. So, but Army was sweet to him. But yes, I'm sure he feels embarrassed. He felt nervous. He felt sad. He felt like, what are people going to say? He seemed very apprehensive. Like I said, even at the Dior show, you could see he didn't look like his regular Jimin. His eyes, if you look at his eyes, it is very tragic. If you just turn the volume down and watch the videos and watch him, you can see the sadness and you can see the scaredness and the sadness in his eyes or whatever. And Jimin didn't deserve it because he didn't do anything wrong. She, in my opinion, is a jump off from hell. Like I've said this before. She the jump off from hell. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. That's how I feel. She the jump off from hell. You know what I mean? You know, she just one of them people, one of them exes or somebody you used to F with, and she is gonna try to shoot her shot. She's done this before in 2022. She released the photos and everything, and people didn't believe her. But this time she released a video because, again, I think this person wanted something. And I just feel like, in my opinion, we won't hear from her again. Now. Last week, I said something to you guys about Jimin that I feel like there is a rumor allegedly going around that somebody else is smelling blood in the water. That maybe Jimin is skittish because maybe the rumor, I don't know how far this rumor has gotten. I don't know who this person is, but there is a rumor going around in certain circles that there is another person that has bragged to people that she's going to expose Jimin. Another person, not this actress. And so I don't know if these rumors have gotten back to HYBE or back to Big Hit and Jimin. I'm assuming they probably have. But I don't know if they know who this person is, or maybe it's just maybe somebody put a rumor out there just to scare Jimin and to fuck with Jimin. You know, because people do cruel stuff like that in K-pop. But I don't know how validity of this rumor or not. But I know the rumor is out there. I know that this has been whispered about, that there's somebody else. And maybe this other person just feels like they need to shoot their shot too, and that they can get something from Jimin. I don't, as to what's going to happen with this other situation, it's anyone's guess. Or how serious this person may be. Again, this may just be rumors and just chatter, you know. But yeah, I'm glad Army was there and supported him. He did say he was going to try to be more visible again. He is. And he should be, because he did nothing wrong. He didn't violate any laws. He didn't hurt nobody. The girl never said, the actress never said that he did anything to her, anything like that. She was just claiming to be with him, and she's not. From what I know, she's not. She hasn't been. It would, again, jump off from hell. That's why I consider it. She'll jump off. That's it. You know. You saying that he's been around? Jim is a good looking guy. All of them have. All of them have in K-pop. Not everybody in BTS, but I don't put. I mean, they're good looking guys. I mean, it's just like she. I told y'all before in my live streams for those of you how K-pop gets down. I tell y'all that people will have somebody that they quote unquote date. I that they quote unquote date. Like there's something kid like I'm gonna say something right now. I'm gonna say something controversial because I'm gonna do a whole video about that. People are like, oh, I've heard people say in comment sections, not on my videos, but in other videos, that oh BTS members can't date, the agency won't let them date. And I'm like, that's first of all, that's not true. HYBE does not have a dating ban, y'all. HYBE does not have a dating ban. I don't know, maybe back in the day they did, but as it stands right now, HYBE does not have a dating ban. Number two, there's not a lot of agencies that have dating bans like that. They have bans where they won't let people hook up with people inside the same company. That's still frowned upon. That's frowned upon out of K-pop. Hooking up with your coworkers never goes right. So they don't want K-pop singers hooking up with staff or sometimes hooking up with members in other groups. So that's kind of a no-no, especially with the rookie groups and the ones in the trainees. They don't want you hooking up with staff or hooking up with other trainees. So yes, there are rules like that. They don't want K-pop singers, established singers, hooking up with trainees. They don't want trainees hooking up with the established singers. So no, they don't want you hooking up with people at work. However, to have a dating ban, I don't know where people get this from. Now, maybe again, people told me like in the first and second generation they had a dating ban. I said, yeah, they did have a dating ban, but they didn't have an effing ban. I've said this before. I'm like, yeah, they may have a dating ban in the contract, but they didn't have no effing bans. So I tell y'all, what are we talking about here? There's nothing in a contract saying that you can't sleep with somebody. Even in second generation when there were dating bans. But I'm like, yeah, because they didn't want people dating and then they didn't want people like ruining the bag and vindictive relationships. But it still happened in the second generation. It still went on, y'all. Behind the scenes and in front of the scenes, there's K-pop singers in the second generation that had problems with exes, blackmailing them, taking videos of them, pictures that they had taken of them. I tell people, I said dating ban. I'm like, what are we talking? Yeah, they like, hey, we don't want you in a relationship, and hey, we don't want this relationship affecting your group activities and your reputation. But yeah, you can go out and sleep with whoever you want to sleep with. How are they going to stop that? So yeah, K-pop singers did what normal young people do: sleep around. I was like, I would think everybody would have figured this out by now. I was like, well, they had dating bans. I'm like, define dating. Cool. What are we talking about here? Dating. Dating. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, oh, dating ban. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But they were doing other things. They were still hooking up, though. You can't stop human beings from hooking up. They just gonna do it behind the agencies back anyway. But no, there's not a lot of K-pop agencies that actively have dating bans. Now I don't know about JYP. Now I don't know about that. I don't know about JYP and YG. I don't know. There may be some stipulations, but I know for a fact HYBE does not have one. So not now. Maybe back in the day, Big Hit did. But people talk about BTS having restrictions. I'm like, the company doesn't care really what BTS does as long as they do it discreetly, because BTS is their cash cow. So their goal is to work BTS to death to get as much money as they can out of them. And they understand that BTS is almost 30 years old. Like they've and the thing about it is they've had girlfriends. I'll talk about that later. There's only one member of BTS that I have not heard a little to know about, and that's Jin. Jin, I have not heard anything about Jin. Jin is very secretive. Like I don't know how he does it, but I admire him. But all the rest of them, I've heard about them dating people. I say people. Like I've heard them dating people. So, but Jin is the only one that's just a little. It's like I don't really hear anything about Jin. So Jin, I hear Jin is very professional. Jin is very personable. Jin is very like, kind of shy, but Again, dating bans or effing bans? What are we talking about? Because you're not gonna stop people from getting it in. Like, when they go by the Han River late at night in the bushes on the east side of the Han. Okay, anyway, that's neither here nor there. But we won't go there. I was like, you do know they. And then so okay. Anyway, I won't even go into that because y'all y'all know my NCT 127 story. Y'all know that NCT 127 story that I told you about them having their escorts allegedly in their hotel room. I was like, I was like, that's not shocking. That supposedly their manager had procured. She told me what people. I did. I said there's a story out there. It's not a secret, but it was a story that was buried by SM. SM is so good at their shit. Like SM, I'm just sitting back and I marvel at SM because they buried y'all. SM buried their stories. I don't know who SM got on their payroll, but there was an NCT 127 story that if you dig far hard enough, you will find this story out there and you will be shocked at the details. There's a story about two or three members of NCT 127, which is a K-pop boy band underneath SM Entertainment. The same group that Moon Tae-il came from. That person that I don't mention their name either. But same Moon Tae-il that just went to prison for gang essaying a girl. Anyway, so there's two or three members that were in a scandal where their manager had procured the services of two young ladies who are supposedly online internet models or Instagram models or IG influencers. And these ladies got mad because apparently they didn't get paid. And they posted pictures on their Instagram and stuff like that. And people took screenshots and they hurried up and took them down. Girl, it's a whole thing. Like I talk about this story all the time. That it was a story that my jaw dropped because I'm like, why was this not a bigger story? And it went away. This was last year, and it went away real quick. Like this story just came and went. I read about it. There was somebody did like one video about it, and it was gone. And so they were procuring the manager of NCT 127 supposedly procured women for these members and they were partying, they were drinking, they were doing all kinds of things in the hotel room and the ladies went on the internet and they outed them because they were angry because they didn't get paid or something like that. Do I like Chinese food? Wow. That's yeah. Um so I don't know, but it was a story that was so amazing that I was like, why is this not a big story? And if you look it up, you'd be like, what? Like the details are more scandalous than I can even say on YouTube. It's very scandalous details about these young ladies that they were partying with. I mean, there's all kinds of wild rumors about that. And then again, it's a story that I barely heard about and it went away real quick. And so I'm telling y'all, and then I wasn't too shocked once I read the story. I'm like, it's not too shocking. It's giving burning sun. But these young ladies, they were cognizant. They weren't drugged. They were nothing like that. They were very well aware what they were procured for. So there's some rumors that these young ladies that this is what they kind of do. Like they get procured by management and they party with idols, supposedly, allegedly. That's what I heard. But they hurried up and took down these posts and they made their Instagram after this incident. So apparently they was mad because they didn't get paid and they got stuck with the hotel bill or something like that. And they were mad, and I guess they tried to work things out, but things didn't get worked out. So they went to the internet and started posting pictures of the hotel room, and then they took all that shit down. And then eventually they took it down after like a day or so. And this story cropped up and I heard about it just by accident because I didn't know at the time who NCT 127 is. I still barely know them. But it's a story and it's out there. But you will look back and be like, why wasn't this a bigger story? And it happened like last March or April. And this at SM is so smooth. Like their stories just fly right under the radar. Just like that Moon Tae-il bullshit. That Moon Tae-il shit, baby, it was in the news like literally a week. And all they did was talk about Sugar for like 3 months. And nobody was talking about Moon Tae-il. Nobody, even he went to the police and did a statement. Baby, wasn't nobody talking about Moon Tae-il. And I find it very weird. And I find that story about NCT 127, I never forgot that story. I thought it was weird that nobody was talking about that story. It was very bizarre. And like I said, if you go look, you'll find the story out there and you'll be like, I've never heard. There are so many people, and I did a live stream about this 6 months ago. There were so many people like, what are you talking about? And people were in shock when they was reading the details that they had never heard this story. And NCT 127 is a big group in South Korea. A big group in South Korea. And SM be like, they be making their stories, they be like, whoosh, just disappear. Get that out of there. But if every time HYBE do something, girl, it be in the news for like 16 years. Like everybody be on it. They took it down. I mean, they definitely got paid. Yeah, they got paid. Yeah, they got paid eventually. Something happened. Because the fans was on there dragging the girls. They was in there cussing them out. The fans was mad, girl. But yeah, eventually they got paid. So I tell people, these kind of things happen. My pencil went flying. But these kind of things happen. But anyway, we was talking about Jimin. And so hopefully Jimin won't go into hiding like Sugar. Hopefully he'll come out a little bit more and not be so scared. But he seemed very skittish and it's very sad. So then we talk about Sugar. Okay, now we get into my bias Sugar. So Sugar, if you don't know, Min Yoongi has at Severance Hospital in South Korea. Min Yoongi, Sugar, my bias, my ults, has a center that just opened up. He announced it when he got out of the military back in June, saying that the doctors came out and talked about it. And this center is working with using music as therapy with autistic children and also other kind of children that may have developmental disabilities or depression. They're using music therapy. Sugar's been working on this damn near a year, that he worked quietly and volunteered with this hospital. Again, I said this was very nice. Sugar has donated. He also donated millions of dollars to this hospital and to this program. And they had their opening night. And Sugar wasn't there. It was okay, let me tell you about this event. Y'all ready? Okay. This is what I know allegedly. This was I said it before last week. I said this event was a very private event. It was an invitation only event. A lot of the kids and the parents that are in the program got invited. A lot of doctors, a lot of the hospital staff, not all the hospital staff. The hospital staff that's in that wing that deals with autistic children and developmental studies got invited to this grand opening. It was not a big fanfare. It was not something that was put out there in the public a lot. So Sugar, he didn't show up, but he did do a video and he did a statement, and they showed the video and they had like a slideshow and stuff like that. And then everybody that was in the attendant audience, they got this little bear. And I posted a picture that some of y'all have asked me about. Like, how you get that? I was like, you know what? That they gave the audience a bear too. And so I posted a picture of what the bear looked like because, hey, that's just the bear they gave out, okay? It says Severance Hospital on it. And there was this cute little bear wearing like their blue. Severance Hospital colors are like blue and white. And so blue, white, and yellow. And so they gave out everybody this little stuffed animal, this little bear. That was sweet of them to give it. And Marie's like, how you know? How you know? Where'd you get that picture from? I'm like, so, but the event was a real quiet, serious, invitation only type of event. So, let me check. I'm checking to see. And so this event was, like I said, very serious and wasn't anything like open to the public or anything like that. So there wasn't like press there and shit like that. They wanted to be just focusing on the center and everything. And again, I think Sugar has done something great and awesome. AK says that's where it's always commendable. He's doing things on the low and behind the scenes, not seeking attention, but doing it just as a good person. I said Sugar has given a lot of money to different causes. So has Jimin. Jimin has given a lot of money to Jimin has given a lot of money. It came out this week that he is, speaking of Jimin, that he has actually been entered into like a special category of like generation families. So Jimin's dad and brother have worked, from what I know allegedly, have worked in providing books, providing clothing for children, underprivileged children who come from broken homes. They have also provided allegedly money to orphanages. Again, I'm just telling y'all what things that I've heard. That's very touching to me as somebody who grew up without parents. I was raised by my grandmother. That was very touching to me. Like it's personally to me that like when I was a kid and I grew up poor, y'all, if y'all don't know my sob story, but I grew up in a very loving environment. I had a grandmother that loved me. I was surrounded by aunts and uncles and great aunts and uncles who loved me. But I understood that like my grandmother struggled a lot. And oh man, y'all, okay. My grandmother, we struggled a lot, and I grew up poor, and I know there was organizations in where I grew up in Michigan where it helped me as a child. I like to read, I like to draw, and then we didn't have enough resources and money uh, at that age for me to pursue my dreams. I feel like now I'm pursuing my dreams as a grown person, as a successful adult. You know, I have more than I could ever wish for. Like I grew up as a little girl in in the hood eating government cheese on welfare, um, being teased because I didn't have any parents. Uh, and so that reminds you of Angelina Jolie. Yeah, she won a Nobel Peace Prize for helping out people. And I just, like, if I had that much money, I would definitely give the money to children. You know, Sugar deserves all the love for that, for helping out children who are autistic and things like that. And so I feel like as somebody, as a kid who grew up underprivileged, that whenever I see people doing good for the kids, Keisha, because Kiki love the kids. I love children. I feel bad because as a kid, you don't control the circumstances you were born into. Um, and I'm a type of kid that like I'm a type of person. I'm a very generous person. Like I believe in paying my fair share. Like I'm a very like bleeding heart liberal person because I understand what it means to not come from nothing and people look down on you because you live in a certain area in a certain zip code. And I was a smart child, but I just didn't have any of the opportunities that other people had. But I had a lot. I had a grandmother that took care of me and believed in me. Um, all throughout my life. And to hear that Jim is giving to orphans, it touches my heart. Yes, the tiny humans. And because you never know what kids, and I think that like growing up poor made me tough. Like it made me a tough person. It made me resilient. But then it also had a lot of setbacks, like in my education and in my opportunities. So it's nice that Jim and are trying to provide books, provide things, and provide everything to try to help children. Again, I am all for that because again, as somebody who grew up with nothing, I'm nothing. I tell people I came from nothing. I didn't have any breaks. I've been working since I was 15 years old. Like I always had to work, 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 work. I'm a workaholic now. I work a lot, but I've always had to work. I've always had to. I've been independent. I've been on my own since I was 18, 19 years old, and so um, it's just I'm good to see Jim and I'm good to see Sugar trying to help kids who are autism because in South Korea, if you guys don't know, there's a big, huge stigma regarding kids who are different, regarding kids who are autistic, who are mentally disabled in some way, who are physically disabled. Also, it's a big stigma in Korea. Like you're kind of considered like a burden, and people are worried about what because in Korean society, it's all about the kids growing up and marrying and being successful and then taking care of their parents. And so that's kind of like how their culture runs. So to have a child that doesn't do that, it is embarrassing for the families. Like the families become embarrassed about their child and people, pity them like, oh, look at them and their child can't is never gonna work or get married and that child's gonna be a burden to their parents as they get older. Like people will say stuff like that well meaning, but it's very hurtful for people to feel, but people can't help feel that's just there's a lot of social stigma. And then Jungi's talked about his own, like throughout the years, his own problems with depression and his own mental health issues, and that him always feeling like he was different. And that's one of the reasons why I like Sugar is because he's always been very honest about who he was. AK said, and because we've had those struggles, we can now stand up for the little ones. I always stand up for the little ones who don't have nothing looking out for them, and kids that are sadly discarded for reasons beyond their control. Yeah, I didn't ask to be born in the family. I didn't ask to have parents who couldn't take care of me. I'm glad that my grandmother stepped in and took care of me because my parents were not equipped. They were young and they were not equipped to take care of me. And I'm glad that I had my mom in my life as I became older. I was happy enough to rekindle the relationship and have a great grandmother and a great mother in my life. So I'm always fortunate for that. I'm upset that I never got to rekindle that relationship with my father because my father passed away in 2021. So that seriously regret not being able to connect and meet my father. Like I last time I saw my father, I was 5, 6 years old. So it's tough out here for kids, y'all. It's tough out here. But again, I'm very fortunate. I don't take anything for granted because again, I'm a kid from nowhere, nothing, nothing, and I have all of this. I have nowhere, nothing. Even when I was in college and I was struggling and eating ramen noodles and living in a small efficiency apartment in Dallas in a kind of sketchy neighborhood, I would never think in a million years. People AK know me. I talk about my life, how it's a difference. I had a lot of family and friends and everything when I was younger, but I didn't have any money. Like I was working 2 jobs. I was putting myself through college and I struggled and I worked a lot. And then like things have changed. So now I can live the life that I told people I live the life that I would never think I would live this life. That I can travel the world, that I can go wherever I want to do. I can do whatever I want to do. I got 2 cars, I got a big house. Like I never thought like, oh, well, I'm gonna be living this life. When I was 17, 18 years old, I thought I was gonna be working and struggling and working 2 jobs for the rest of my life. I have a great career. I never thought that I would be here. And I don't ever try to take it for granted. So anybody that can help kids, I am 110% behind it because I love children and children are innocent. They didn't ask. And I love animals. I'm an animal lover and I'm a kid lover. And because animals didn't ask to be taken in as pets and kids didn't ask to be born. And so I'm really into like if you can't afford or you're not a good parent, then you need to take some parenting classes. You needed to get it together. Again, I work hard at being a parent. Like I agonize over every decision, every word, because I know I'm human and I get things wrong, but I want to get things right because I want my kids to do better than me. I want my kids to surprise me and surpass me and go out there and do everything. Very tough. I'm a kid from Guyana who grew up in between Brooklyn and Ohio, and the struggle was real. We're lucky enough to be blessed in our life on our own way to comfort now. All right, high five, girl. Yeah. It's been hard. It's been a journey, but it's a journey that it's hard. I never tell people, "Oh, I did it, so you can do it too." I don't ever feel like that. I don't ever feel like just because I did it that you need to pull yourself up from your bootstraps and you can I don't wish that on nobody. You know, you counsel kids, they are our future, they are. And then kids can make or break your society. If you don't leave a good legacy for your children, um, it can hurt. And we're gonna get into that in a minute because we're gonna get so those are the BTS updates. That's everything that happened with BTS. I'm happy that they're out there doing their thing and just living their lives. So now we're gonna get into HYBE. HYBE, if you don't know, is a corporation that owns Big Head, Pledis, and other companies. They're like their umbrella company. And so HYBE um is on Big Hit, and Big Hit is the company agency for BTS and various other artists out there too. So we're gonna get into the HYBE news. The HYBE news is speaking of things, TXT, which is the little brother group of BTS, they've been out for about 6 years. They were like the first like boy group for HYBE Big Hit after BTS. So they came out 6 years ago. They announced that they are working with UNICEF. BTS has also worked with UNICEF. If you guys don't know, BTS were like it had an ambassador thing for UNICEF. TXT is working for UNICEF. Their mission is they went to the UNICEF headquarters. Their mission is working with to mental health awareness. Um, there's something that I want to say, but I'm not gonna say it because I feel like it's not my place to say it. But there's something I could say, but I'm not gonna say something about TXT, but I'm not gonna say it. But TXT, they're spearheading. They got up there and they talked about. mental health awareness in Korea. If you don't know, Korea has the highest unalive themselves rate in the world. It is a high pressured society. It is a very win at all cost kind of society. They have lots of mental health, lots of depression that people don't talk about. There are a lot of people, I have to say, in the entertainment industry that suffers from mental health issues because the entertainment industry, if you ain't got a mental health problem, you'll end up having one. Like it, the entertainment industry is not for the weak. It's not for the weak, and it's not for the strong either. Because you come in there thinking you strong, if you come in there thinking you strong, you're gonna be sorely mistaken. Period. Because the entertainment industry has chewed people up and spit them out time and time and time and time again. And so TXT bringing awareness to mental health issues in South Korea is very needed, much needed still right now. And so they're doing good things. So that's good. There's so much stigma. There's stigma about mental health here. Like I talk about South Korea, but it's here too. People don't want to get help. People don't want to take medicine. But in South Korea, it's very shameful and it's hidden. There are a lot of K-pop singers that are on medications, y'all. There are a lot of K-pop singers who have thought about it, talked about it, attempted to unalive themselves that we never hear about, y'all. That we never hear about. That you ain't never heard. They just get swept underneath the rug. There are people out there, there are stars out there that have taken breaks. Then you be like, oh, they taking a break. Okay. It's shameful. Yeah. South Korea, sadly, yeah, and within the black community as well, it's a lot of stigma about saying I'm not okay. I'm unwell. And it's okay to be not okay. Not everybody can be a strong person. I tell people that all the time. Not everybody is you know that they can be a strong person. But yes, there have been a lot of K-pop singers. Again, with this industry, I'm going to tell y'all something right now. Mental health and diet go hand in hand. If y'all don't know it, if I know I may be saying something obvious, but just for the people that don't know, diet and mental health go hand in hand. If you are in a state of food deprivation and sleep deprivation, and you're tired and you're overworked, that affects your mental health. So you may have a small issue or a small mental health problem or something, and you're young. All of those situations combine to make your mental health. It can wreck your mental health, and it's something that if you don't get a hold of it early, the older you get and the patterns that you adopt. There's a lot of eating disorders in K-pop just because of the nature of you can't be fat. You gotta go get plastic surgery. Like there's a lot of that. So again, food is very important. I know when I don't eat. I know when I don't drink a lot of water. I know if I'm really, really busy that it affects my patience level, my way I can cope levels. Knights Hospilier says yeah, amen. Yeah. Like all of that affects your and then when you're dealing in the K-pop industry, you're dealing a lot with your self-esteem and your sense of self-worth. That is devastating. I couldn't imagine being 18, 19 years old and having to deal with people on the internet saying that you're ugly, you're fat, dragging you, thousands of people upset about this. And I can imagine like the pressures. It's a lot of pressure. That's why a lot of people don't last in the industry. There's a bunch of groups that come and then they go. You know, yeah, they come, people come and then people go. They come in the industry and then the group will be disbanded and they be on to something else because it's a lot and it's hard. It's hard, and so it's hard to be in this industry, um, knowing that you're young and you're vulnerable, and you may have already had situations at home or situations with family members, pressure from family members and friends that you can't really cope, and then nobody's telling you how to cope with it. So yeah, the industry, even in America, but because in America most of the people entering the industry are grown folks, they're not little kids. But in the K-pop industry, because these trainees start at 12, 13 years old, they get used to this lifestyle that's just warps and twisted their sense of relationships and reality. And yeah, I wish more folks would get help. But in South Korea, it's a big stigma. So TXT is trying to do something about that and bring more awareness. And I think that's good. We also have La Seraphim. Now, La Seraphim is a group that's underneath HYBE as well. They performed in this president's, I forgot the name of it. I had to look up this president's thing. There was other artists that performed, and they performed really well and they sang really well. I saw them perform and it was pretty interesting. And so La Seraphim, they're about to come out with a comeback. They're about to release another album later on this month. Later on this month, yeah, later on this month. Also at HYBE, they had a family day. Bong PD was there, and they had a family day at HYBE. They watched the fireworks. There's a huge fireworks show that they have every year that millions of people come to. He like the offices where HYBE is at. You can see it. Like they have fireworks at the Han River, so people sat there with their families. Bong PD came and took pictures. Great PR move for Bong PD because we're going to talk about him in a minute. But it was just good to see him with people were criticizing Bong PD after they released the photos. It never ends. It never ends with Korea. I don't understand why Korea hates this man so much, but it's neither here nor there. Okay, I don't get it. I can do a whole video talking about it. But if you watch my HYBE and Bong PD video, I'll give you the overview of how Bong PD found HYBE and everything, whatever, Yeah, but y'all can watch my video and you'll get an overview of how HYBE was started and Big Hit and everything like that. But they were dragging Bong PD for having a family day, whatever, Korea, whatever. I think it was brilliant PR. As a corporate move, it's great, and as PR, it was great. So speaking of Bong PD, he was told by the Seoul police that he can't leave the country. Yeah, he has a travel ban. So apparently Bong PD is a flight risk. Like I was cracking up, and then I was reading about it. I was like, so he's a flight risk? I'm like, where's Bong PD gonna run off to? Where is he gonna go somewhere and disappear? He didn't do okay. Right now, if you don't know, I did a video. I did videos and talked about it in the live stream. Right now, HYBE is Bong PD is the chairman, the founder of HYBE. He's the one that founded BTS. He is the chairman. He's not even the CEO at this point. He's just the chairman. But a long time ago, HYBE was going to go public. So back in 2019, they were going to go public. So they were going to go public on for us, it'd be the New York Stock Exchange. But he was going to go public on the Korean Stock Exchange. Let's put it that way. So they had investors and people already investing into HYBE. And so supposedly he stiffed investors. He's under investigation for IPO tampering and stiffing investors because he went public. Oh, that's just a layman's term way of putting it. So 2 weeks ago, he came in because Bong PD spends most of his time in California, to be honest with you. He has a house in Cali, and then he has a condo in Seoul, but he spends most of his time in LA. So they called him back and they questioned him for like almost 14 hours 2 weeks ago. So now the investigators told Bong PD he can't leave the country. He has a travel ban. Like he's some hardened criminal. Like Bong PD is out here just a menace to society. Yes, a flight risk. You didn't hear that? Yes. The police said that Bong PD cannot travel. They're like, you can't travel. You're not allowed to travel. You can get back here. So yes, they have deemed him, in other words, a flight risk. And it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. But yes, he can't travel. Your tinfoil hat theory is that Bong PD has become too rich in Korea and the chaebols are scared of that. I said it too, Metaloop. I said it before. I said this Bong PD came from nothing. Bong PD went to college, like I said. If you watch my video, I'll give you the background about Bong PD. And he was just a guy in college that wanted to be a composer and a writer of music. He has not come from like a rich family or money or anything. He was just a guy. And so when he broke into the K-pop scene and BTS, and they worked hard, for BTS. They big hit was nothing. He started from the bottom. He really is now here. So he did start from the bottom. Nothing. Had to borrow money to start Big Hit. Him and JYP had a falling out because him and JYP were friends. And Bong PD took a huge risk, leaving his cushy job as a producer with JYP to start his own company and do his own thing. And the ups and downs in this business and the things that he's created, yes. And now he is the chairman of one of the most lucrative companies in South Korea, almost going to be in the world. I mean, Bon PD to me, I don't know him personally, but just the moves that HYBE makes, I feel like he wants to be the next Sony or the Warner Music or Geffen. And there's nothing wrong with that. There are so many people out there that drag HYBE, but I don't. Let me get on my soapbox for just a second, y'all. Bear with me. I get annoyed with people who don't like HYBE and call HYBE out saying Bong PD is greedy and HYBE is greedy when HYBE doesn't do anything different that Sony, Geffen, Universal Music, Warner, that all these companies don't do. HYBE has done nothing different. So because HYBE is a Korean K-pop company, I guess he's supposed to stay in his damn place. But I'm like, that's not Bong PD's ambition. He wants to grow HYBE to be this international multi-label company, just like Sony and Warner and Geffen. And I say, why the hell not? Why? Why can't he? Well, HYBE are greedy. They all are. You mean to tell me that Geffen, who has distribution rights to half a pop, Western pop is ruled by Sony, Warner Brothers, and Geffen, and then there's other labels underneath that. And you mean to tell me that these record labels are not there to make money? These record labels who have tour after tour after tour after tour. These record labels that be having Beyonce tickets for $3,000 a piece. These record labels that make hand over fist in merchandise and money and tours. These are the same record labels that have paid radio stations not to play K-pop back in the day. That keep changing the rules of the Grammys because they don't want to let certain people in. They want to keep everybody in their little section because they can make more money. They want to keep you in a genre, which I'm gonna talk about that later this week about how now country music then made a whole nother genre. There's country, then there's country pop, and then there's like American country. It's the same shit they've done to K-pop. There used to just be R&B, pop music. Now they're like, let's make best male K-pop artist. Let's have best K-pop group. Let's have best K-pop tour. Yeah, because this is what the business is. And who controls that? Sony, Geffen, Warner, Universal. There is nothing wrong for HYBE wanting to be big. If all these mofos can do it, then I'm like, who am I to tell Bong PD, okay, you can't go do that? But that's how some of these fans act. Like some of these people in South Korea, that's how they act. They act as if, oh, you need to go stay in your place. Just be a K-pop company. What? So the K-pop industry right now, I'll talk about all the time, up and down, up and down, up and down. They're losing money. They're losing groups. It's losing its steam popularity. K-pop Demon Hunters then gave it a shot in the ass a little bit. But still, Korea don't own K-pop Demon Hunters. Sony does. But the industry has the markets fluctuating in South Korea. So people are mad because Bong PD he's expanded to India. He's expanded to Latin America. And then people talk about HYBE is greedy. I'm like, but HYBE is doing what it do. What other record companies do. I can't call HYBE a demon. Then I got to call Sony and Geffen and all the rest of these people. Because they own the distribution rights to even HYBE. You mean to tell me that Scooter Braun ain't a demon? I'm not trying to throw no shade. I'm just asking a question. Because I don't like him either. But I'm just saying Scooter Braun owned Ariana Grande. He owned Taylor Swift shit. He owned Justin. I don't understand what people expect HYBE to do. I'm like, they are a company at the end of the day. They're going to get their coin and make their money. And BTS is their cash cow. You know. They wanted to stack the money, yeah. Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson. Whitney Houston. I can tell. Now Michael Jackson. I can honestly sit there and say, because again, some of my family are in the American music industry. I can honestly tell you that with Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson, to me, there's no conspiracy there, because I know people that work with them and they were definitely hooked. There is a lot of substance abuse in the music in music in the movie industry. In the music industry, there's a lot of substance abuse. Even in K-pop, I tell y'all would be surprised. There is substance abuse in K-pop as well. Like you got to take some in order to get through these tours and get through the. But Whitney Houston had a history of substance abuse, like a serious, serious problem. So did Michael Jackson with that profanol shit. And I'm telling you, K-pop lost. There was a K-pop singer that passed away because of that a couple of months ago. What was his name? It started with a W. It was like Wang Ho. He was a second generation K-pop in a K-pop group, and he lost his life because he was found passed out because he was on addicted to profanol. In Now in Korea, I would say the substance of choice is prescription pills. Getting prescription meds illegally, getting fake prescriptions is big in K-pop. I can say that it's big in K-pop. There's a lot of Adderall, Xannies, and stuff like that, like in K-pop, besides just weed and alcohol. But it's still illegal. All that weed is illegal in South Korea. But I can say that there's a lot of substance abuse in the American industry. But I mean, people just they don't want HYBE to succeed. South Korea doesn't want, they want their money from HYBE. They don't want HYBE to go to another country and take their tax dollars and their revenues and skirt South Korea, not pay South, even though BTS is giving South Korea billions of dollars in tourism and revenue and not hospitals and hotel. Do you understand when BTS do a concert, how everybody get paid? How everybody, like when they do a concert, all the businesses around them start decorating with BTS shit. All the cafes, all the hotels, all, everything. Everybody be eating good off of BTS. All the little businesses around in the shopping centers, and the tourists come and the concert goers come and they go to these, like all of that like spreads, like it brings in good business. But K-pop has been floundering. I mean, so HYBE got a gaming division. I talked about that last week. They have a gaming division. They've learned to diversify, but they're trying to hem Bang PD up, y'all. I'm telling you, they're hemming him up for real. Like it is something to behold. Like I've never seen anything like this in K-pop. I mean, they tried to pull this with YG and SM, but yeah, but they in the way Bang PD is demonized by the Korean people. I just, like I said, I could talk about that all day, but Bang PD is trying, but yeah, they're saying he's a flight risk. They won't let him try. I get, because I'm like, where is he gonna go disappear to? Like, you can recognize Bang PD a mile away, like, there you go. Did you see a short, frumpy, fat South Korean guy? No, I'm just kidding. Bang PD lost a bunch of weight. Y'all leave Opa alone. He lost a bunch of weight. But I just feel like, this is a lot for the company to go through. And this is a lot for him to go through. And it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to be like, well, you can't fly, you can't travel. What? And BTS got an album to do, and so they had to move things back to South Korea. I think that, okay, anyway. Anyway, I won't get into that. But I can say that that's one of the reasons why they're back more in South Korea, is because Bang PD, they were in California doing a lot of recording because that's where Bang PD was. But now since he's back here, they don't have to be over in California a lot. Y'all hold on for a second. Allegedly. Jonathan! I gotta get my son. Hold on, y'all. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me go. Let me go and get my child. I'll be right back. Huh? Honey, go outside. I think the guy is here. Real quick. back, y'all. Because again, if y'all didn't know, I locked my keys in the car. So the guy finally arrived. But I'm back. There's some weird things going on with Bang PD, Minhee Jin, and some politicians, SM and Cacao. Right. SM and Cacao is in a lot of trouble right now with their app. And then they're also a lot of trouble with because they're in court right now. So Cacao and then Minhee Jin, they go to court at the end of this month. So we'll see with New Jeans and Minhee Jin. We'll see with that. HYBE also has partners with the National Museum of Korea. Apparently, they partnered with them before with BTS. There's some kind of initiative that they did a few years ago. I was in Army then, but they partner with the National Museum of Korea, and they have some kind of exhibit going on there, sponsored by HYBE, and having BTS curated kind of stuff. So, National Museum of Korea, yay. Let's see. BTS Weeks. So speaking of HYBE, I went to go see BTS Weeks. My video comes out Monday, and I will give you this. This is my first time of seeing any concert video, any kind of concert, and so I will be talking about. Did anyone else go to see BTS Weeks? Am I the only person that went to go? When I went to the theater, I'm gonna tell you there was 8 people in the theater, counting me and Jennifer. So we were 2 out of 8. And let me tell you, when I was in that theater, it was lame, y'all. I was in the theater, and I was gonna bring my army bomb, but I didn't bring my army bomb. But see, but I went to the theater and everybody was real quiet. Cause I heard about, Taylor Swift had a concert movie like 2 years ago. So Taylor Swift had a concert movie, right? And I forgot the name of it, but she had one, and then she got one that came out this weekend, and she had one come out 2 years ago. And I heard about people, Swifties, they was dancing in the aisle, they was breaking it down, they was doing everything. And so I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to see BTS. My first time seeing a concert there. I'm thinking, okay, people are gonna be singing, and no, I don't know how you guys' experience was. I went to the BTS Weeks, and there was no singing and no dancing in the aisles. There was nothing. These people was dry. Like, it was me and Jennifer, who had before went out to eat and had a few libations. Okay, me and Jennifer had a few libations. Okay, few libations, maybe a few. Maybe 2 or 3 between us. So we were a little tipsy, and so we're in the theater and we're just talking, we're singing, and I'm just sitting there thinking, damn, this dry, like this dry. These people, it was very dry in that theater. So again, I don't know how you guys' experience was, but I'm doing a vlog. I'll post it on Monday. Also, I'm doing another video coming while I'm talking about things that are in K-pop that I think that are lame or stupid. So that'll coming out Wednesday or Thursday. So make sure y'all look at that video. So that's enough with the HYBE update. So next thing we know, we're going to talk about K-pop. What happened in K-pop? Again, K-pop, there's always things going on in K-pop. What I can say, the incident that caught my attention is the Rose incident. So if you guys don't know, Rose is a member of the group Blackpink, and they are still on tour, I believe. And so they're still on tour. Rose did a song with Bruno Mars called Opta, 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 Opta. Y'all know that song. Y'all know Opta, Opta. It was all over the place, right? So she was at Fashion Week, because all the fashion weeks are in the month of October. Oh, Kim Wilson said, tomorrow excited. I went with your sister to see J, Hope, and Jen, and we were alone as we had fun. Oh, y'all were alone. I wish we were alone. We were trying not to be rude, but it was not. It was dry. We had fun, but them other people was looking at us like, probably looking at us like I was like, dang, we making too much noise. Because if you listen, let me go back to BTS. If you're going to put on a BTS concert, I'm going to sing. I'll be like, like, I'm going to sing. Every time Sugar get up there and rap, I'm like, haters, hey, I'm going to be up there, hey. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I'm just like, I've been in situations 3 times now where I've been in situations with Army that is dry. What? Okay, y'all, hold on. I got to provide a driver's license and a signature. Hold on. I have returned. Sorry, I had to provide my driver's license and I had to sign some paperwork so they can unlock my, they can pry my door open and get my keys out of there. Um, did you miss something? Oh, I wasn't talking about sugar dating. Okay. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, we're gonna get to the dating rooms, but it's not about sugar, it's about V. Um, Marie Miller said it's a concert movie. Everybody's supposed to sing it. No, that nobody brought any army bombs. Nobody was singing. Nobody was dancing. If it was just me and Jennifer, I would have stood up and I would have been like, hey, but I was like, there's people behind us, there's people next to us. It was lame, y'all. It was, and again, this is the third event I've been to where I've been with other armies and they have been dead quiet. Like they just sat there and politely watched the concert. Like I said, this is the third time. So I don't know. But anyway, back to K-pop. So Rose was at her fashion show event. She was at a L fashion show event. And so Fashion Week, there's Fashion Weeks happening in October, usually happens in the fall. BTS members, of course, been going. So Rose is the member of Blackpink, Opta, blonde girl, pretty girl. She also won the VMAs, the Video Music Awards. She won tons of those. So there was an incident that caught my eye that I saw on YouTube. She was in a picture with like Zoe Kravitz, Charlie XCXC, whatever her name is. I don't know that lady's name. And then also another actress or model or something. And so it was Rose, Charlie XCXC, whatever. Zoe Kravitz, I know Zoe Kravitz, she's an actress. And then there was another singer or model or something that was there. So they were all standing up in the photo with Elle magazine, which is a women's magazine, fashion. They also have a TikTok, they have social media. They post videos, they report on all the fashion weeks, okay? So they reported and they put the pictures, but they cropped, they cut little Rose out. So it was just them three standing up there. So then another video came out of the fashion show, like right before they took a picture. And so you can see that the L people were shining a spotlight because, it was outside, it was in the dark. And you can see that Rose was standing there. She was sitting on this thing, this bench or something first, this ledge. And then you can see that, like, when they had the big spotlights to make sure to give lighting, she wasn't in the light. She was shaded out. So some people online were claiming like that it was racism or something like that. Let me explain to y'all. I honestly feel it's not racism. This is the reason why. I feel more like it was, depending on who was taking the photograph or who was there, for Elle, they may have not known who Rose was. So all the K-pop fans, the Blinks, Blackpink fans called Blinks, they were all up in their arms. Now it was wrong how they did her. I hear my alarm going off. But I'm not necessarily saying that it is racism or xenophobia or stuff like that. I think that it's a situation that I tell K-pop fans all the time. Y'all, there are people who don't, even though Rose won all these awards and she had the Opta song, there are people who don't know who the F Rose is. They may have looked at they may have saw these four ladies standing there. They saw Zoe Kravitz, they saw this other model or actress chick, they saw Charlie XCXC and was like, okay, so who is this? They like, who is this? And her outfit was very different. Yeah. Okay, y'all hold on. I gotta sign something. We're gonna talk about her outfit. We're gonna talk about the Okay, y'all. I have returned. Mickey's on the scene with a gangster lean, y'all. Come on, Mickey. Mickey's on the scene with a gangster lean. Mickey's in the house, y'all. Anyway, Metalloop was saying that her outfit was very different than the other ones. It was different, but what fashion house does Rose represent? I forgot the name of it. Yeah, that's Mickey. Mickey over here. So they finally got my car unlocked, y'all. So my car is done. I got the keys out of my car. So I forgot what fashion house that Rose is with, but again, I don't understand the fashion house because if she's an ambassador, they would have to hype her for the press. I mean, they paid her for being there. Like how Celine and Dior hype BTS. Yes, I feel like Metaloop said, Metaloop is so smart. That was what I was about to say. I felt like her fashion house let her down. Like, my question is, does she have a PR person? Okay, y'all know I be going in about these K-pop companies and these PR situations. Y'all know these PR situations be making me just aggravated. Did she have a PR person with her? I don't know if she did or not. I know when BTS, they have security, but BTS has been in the game a real long time, but so is Blackpink. So I'm thinking, did she have a handler? Did she have a PR person? I know Rose speaks English, so she don't need she don't need a translator or anything. But I'm like, okay, the fashion house that she represents should have had a PR person explaining who she was. I don't understand how she walked into a fashion show, an after party or whatever, or I don't know if this is during the after party or this is before, and she did not have any type. It didn't seem like she had any type of anybody introducing her, explaining who she was. And again, I tell K-pop fans all the time before K-pop fans get their panties in a wad, I'm like, y'all, K-pop don't really be that popular in other places. And this photographer, or the person who's doing the videographer for L, baby, they probably didn't know who she was. They probably was like, who is this? Who is this Asian girl? Like, okay, just crop her out the photo. Either the director, the producer, or the person, photographer, the PR, whoever it was, decided to crop her out of these videos and these photos. I don't agree with it. I think it was sad that they did her this way. I think it was horrible that they did her that way. But the people talking about this racism, I'm like, no, it's just that they don't know who she was. As much as people want to say opta opta, people may know that song, but they may not have put two and two together like, this is this person. They may have said Rose and they may have been like, who? They may have thought she was a friend to one of the people there. And yes, if you go, I told another thing I had to bring up. When you go to an event, like a fashion show or something like that with a bunch of famous people, sometimes they bring staff, they have staff members with them, they have PR people, they have handlers, they have assistants with them. They may have thought she may have been one of the assistants. You will get cropped out the photo. If I'm standing up there in a photo with BTS, 9 times out of 10, if I'm on the end, they like, we don't know who you are. You get cropped out the photo. This happens a lot. Staff members, PR people, executive producers, whatever, people who aren't famous, they will crop them out the photo. And so, yeah. And so that's why I tell people, I'm like, I don't think it really was racism. I just think that like they may have not known who she was. Oh, my cat is over here sneezing, y'all. Y'all hear him? Oh, my little boo-boo. But yeah, I just think they may have not known who Rose was. So I don't think when people claiming that it's racism and all this stuff, I was like, they probably didn't know who she was. Like I said, I didn't understand why her fashion house didn't do more to try to help her. I mean, she's ambassador for Yves Saint Laurent and Tiffany and Company. Okay. Well, then Yves Saint Laurent or whatever. Yeah, I heard. Yes, that's what it was, Shelly P. They should have had people there explaining who she was. But then again, they may have. I don't know. But they still may have been like, well, she ain't famous enough to be in the picture with these other 3 ladies. That may have been a decision on Elle's part. And also depends on their audience. Like Elle is a high end fashion magazine. They may have, look. I'm not gonna put it past them. They may have known exactly who Rose was, and they still may have cropped her ass out. Sorry, Blinks, but it's just. I mean, I'm being real. Like I'm being 100%. They may have known who she was, and they may have still made a decision to crop her out. So based on the people who read their magazine, like I said, you got some real snooty, hoity-toity people. They're like, oh, she a K-pop singer. Oh, we don't want her in the photo. Like, oh, she that K-pop singer that did that song with Bruno Mars. Nah, go on, crop her out. Like it may have been that decision. They may exactly knew what they were doing and knew who she was. I wouldn't put it past them. Like I said, I would not put it past them. I've seen worse in the industry. But regardless, if it's racism or not, I'm not willing to call it that. I'm willing to call it like it's we want to have American star. I would claim xenophobia before I would claim racism. They may have just wanted to have just American European people in this photo, and they may have just been. But again, people underestimate K-pop and its reach. I tell people K-pop is not that popular. It is not this. It is a niche thing, even in America. Yes, people love K-pop. There are people who casually listen to K-pop. But when it comes to like certain circles, like fashion houses and circles like that, they may have felt like if they would have put her in the picture, she would have brought down the editorial. Like, oh, we can't put this K-pop is not taken serious, like as a serious art form by a lot of people. And there's reasons for that. Like people have defended K-pop, and I'm gonna do a video about that also. Western music versus K-pop and the similarities and the differences, and the reason why K-pop gets such a bad like a downgraded in stigma. And if y'all are BTS Army, y'all been around a lot longer than I have. Y'all know that the things that BTS have faced. And I was like, y'all mad because Rose got cropped out of a fucking picture? Hold my beer. Let me tell you what happened to BTS. BTS systematically, consistently in their earlier careers got dogged out by Korea. And then even when they made it big here, BTS was systematically dogged out, and people said all kinds of racist shit about BTS, just awful and horrible. People said all kinds of xenophobic, homophobic, racist shit about BTS, even down to this day. Even though BTS has earned a lot more respect in the business because they are the biggest. But again, when it comes to Blackpink, even though Blackpink been around for a while, but they have been on hiatus for a long time. So again, the idea that some of these fashion houses and these fashion editorials are going to put them up there with other actresses, or singers. I was like, K-pop fans, y'all delulu, because it's just not happening. You know. Yeah, them ladies just ignored her by looking at the phone, right? I'm not agreeing with it. The way, yes, they are snobs. The art crowd is snobs. The art crowd are like, I promise you, even with BTS, as much fanfare from what I have heard, when Jimin, like I said, I'll use Jimin as the most recent example. When Jimin showed up, there's a big crowd. There's a lot of people clapping and cheering for them. If you look in the background, the people were looking like, who is that? I promise you, there was envy, there was jealousy, there was curiosity, all that. But when Jimin got all of them yells and people was going crazy, and there were people standing there like, who the fuck is this? That didn't know who Jimin was. No idea. They thought maybe he was a model, maybe an artist from another country, maybe. But I promise you, a lot of people, unless you told them, they would not put two to two together that this is Jimin from BTS. And then still, there are people out there who don't even know who BTS is. So the idea that everybody knows who Blackpink is and Rose, and people are not in those circles, especially the stuffy, stodgy. Most of the designers are old. Like, y'all gotta understand that most of these designers are like in their 40s and 50s. A lot of these designer houses and these executive directors of these fashion weeks, they can be in their 60s. They've been working for Elle magazine, Vanity Fair for decades. And a lot of these people are older people. They don't know what popular music is and what pop, K-pop and all this stuff. They don't know what that is. A lot of the photographers and the PR people are older people, maybe in their 40s and 50s. They just don't know. So I'm sad that Rose got did dirty like that, but in my mind, it is what it is. I don't think it was anything like saying that she was being hated on. It's a racist thing. I think it's just that people don't respect. People still don't give K-pop artists their due or respect K-pop artists or even know who they are. Again, I walk around in a world where nobody knows. I have people that who are like, "Who's BTS?" Like people ask me that all the time. Who's BTS? K-pop. K-pop. Okay, what is that? All the time. People don't know what that is. People were like, "What is that?" And so just because they sell out stadiums and venues and they sell out and they're really popular with their fans really K-pop fans really support their artists. But for the most part, when you're talking about like radio play and casual fans, they may hear a K-pop song and recognize it, but they don't know the artist. They don't know a lot of times what the artist even look like. It was a boss move that Jimin was bowing for Army. But yeah, Dior did hype him up. He was posted for all this. So yes, yes. I don't know if Rose was. I'm not on Yves Saint Laurent. I don't know. So I don't know if she was hyped up for everything. I don't know. I'm suspecting that she probably wasn't. I'm kind of thinking that Yves Saint Laurent, their PR people dropped the ball. That's. Yeah, Army went through it, honey. Army is going through it, honey. They Army's going through it. BTS is going through it. Even like I said, even they fought hard for their place and to be on the Grammys and stuff like that. BTS fought hard, but BTS took a lot of hardcore criticism. There was a lot of ugly, mean, nasty things said about BTS because people were jealous, people were envious. And again, I'm going to do a video where I'm going to discuss the Grammys in the music industry. Because once again, if you start doing things that the Grammys don't like, they will put you in a different category. I don't agree. I said it over and over again for the people in the back. Golden by JK being in the male K-pop category or a K-pop category when the whole damn album is in English. How did JK be on the billboard and do the same thing with Jimin and all of this, and they still get best K-pop artist nominations and K-pop song and K-pop? What makes it K-pop? Because they're from Korea? That sounds a little bit racist and xenophobic to me. So they're singing the whole fucking album in English and then they're K-pop. How is that? Jungkook's album Golden and Jimin album ran circles around with barely a lot of promotion, ran circles around half of the shit that was out that came out when the other artists came out around the same time. Jimin didn't was in the military as the album came out. He didn't get a chance to promote it, nothing. And it still sold out. It still was on the charts. Jimin can go do a concert right now and would sell out worldwide. I'm telling you. And not many artists can say that the BTS sells out worldwide. Jin and J-Hope sold solo tours out worldwide. Sugar My Ult had sold out tour. Not many artists can say that they're selling out arenas. And then y'all want to put them in a K-pop category even though they're singing in English? This is the type of stuff that I feel like Bong PD wants to pierce the veil of Western music. And again, he has a right to try. But I think it's real messed up that, and like I said, I'm going to do a video where I'm going to just go in and talk about the shenanigans that go on in westernized music about them trying to keep people in genres instead of just music just being music. Because they make more money that way. They make more money by putting you into a slot. And I think that BTS is pop. I don't think BTS is K-pop. Just because they're from Korea. I didn't understand that. I was like, well, they're not. I'm surprised that happened to Rose. The Blackpink girls have been ambassadors for many. They have fashion. Yeah, I think those ladies. Yeah, I think it was the person who was taking the pictures and the person that was taking the video. So the videographer and the photographer, there was two of them that were there. I think that it was their decision. I don't think it was anything that Rose could have done. I think that person just or people didn't know who Rose was, didn't really care who Rose was, and was like, Go ahead, crop her out. Like, girl, and then maybe they didn't like her outfit. Maybe it would have been all of that. Maybe it's accumulation of all that. But I tell people, y'all do know. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Um, I'm gonna tell y'all something. When these K-pop artists become ambassadors, yes, depending on the fashion house, they do get pumped up, but they pump that up because they want eyeballs, they want sales, they want eyeballs on their line or whatever. So yes, they have brand ambassadors to pump up their sales and their notoriety and get clicks and views and everything like that because they know K-pop fans are going to come. But inside those fashion circles, they don't care about them K-pop artists. They're just a means to an end. To be honest with you, it's just a means to an end. Oh, the Grammys is fake. The Grammys, yeah. It's I mean, same thing about the Grammys, about them inviting K-pop singers and letting K-pop singers have categories. It's because the Grammys ratings are in the toilet. Because the Grammys ratings are horrible. And they know that K-pop fans like us, we are going to watch our favorites. So they invite Stray Kids and Blackpink and Jimin and who else, Jungkook and BTS because they need the ratings. They need the clicks and the views on their website. They need the ratings. But that's it. But to say that people in the industry respect them, it's more of a PR move. The same thing with the fashion industry. The fashion industry is a PR thing for them. It's not like they really, like these artists or respect them at all. And they don't. Like they really don't. Even some of the American pop artists, they don't. Now, if you've been in the business a long time and you like Uma Thurman or you're like Ryan Reynolds or something like that, yes, they're going to respect you. If you are Mariah Carey and you show up or something like that, yes, they people know who you are. You bring a lot of clout. But do K-pop singers bring a lot of clout? I don't think they do. Not in the fashion industry. I can tell you that they don't. Even in the music in the Western music industry, I don't think they do a lot. So I mean, so unfortunately for Rose, I feel bad that that happened to her. But the other thing we're going to talk about is dating rumors. Now, once again, I have a whole video I'm going to do. I'm going to record probably tomorrow and talk about dating rumors. We're going to talk about dating. So there has been a dating rumor about V and a member from a group called IVE. Okay, I I saw this in the video. I chuckled, but I was like, let me go see what kind of evidence they have. These are the type of foolery and stupidity that I don't like in K-pop. So fans will sit there and play I Spy and Where's Waldo with the stupidest things. Last week, V was at a restaurant. He was hanging out, I guess, assuming with some friends. They took video. He took pictures of him at this exclusive restaurant in Seoul. It's a restaurant that a lot of celebrities go to. They have really great food. They are highly recommended. And again, a lot of people, a lot of artists, and a lot of people who work in the industry, the bigwigs go to this restaurant. It's a very high end restaurant. So this particular member of IVE, I don't know her name, Lord. I don't know anything about IVE at all. I couldn't point IVE out of a lineup. I couldn't tell you who's who. But there's a member of IVE that apparently she was at this restaurant like a week later, and she had posted some pictures on her social media. And people were saying the things that she was posting, people were saying this is proof that her and V were together when he was at the restaurant. It is the most silliest thing. I won't even dignify any of this with any attention. They were talking about a cup that she had on the table, and then there's some other pictures she posted around that time saying that they said that this is proof, unequivocally proof that she was at his house. I just blinked. These are the type of dating rumors. I it irks me to no end. It it's no pictures of them, V and this lady together. There's no pictures of them. There's no proof that they're together. Nothing. It's just I saw the pictures that people were talking about. It didn't look. This is V's table, and this is. Okay, it didn't even look like the same table. They were at the same restaurant literally like 12 days apart. I just be like, why? I don't know why this is okay. This is one of the many things in K. I have a whole list of things I write down in K-pop that baffles me. This is one that annoys me and baffles me at the same time. I don't know who got this shit started, and I don't know why. Okay. I don't know how long this has been around in K-pop. Somebody told me, oh, well, fans have always done that. When I went back and looked at the archive back in 2014, when I went back in the second generations, this went on a little bit, but now with social media, it has exploded. So this is one of these stupid things in K-pop, and people tell me it's always been around, but I go back and look in first and second generation, and this was not a thing. This was not a thing. This wasn't a thing a long time ago. This is something that has happened since 2019. And I go and do my research because y'all know I go and look because I want to verify. I'm like, really? Is this always? Oh, it's always been around, Kiki. No, and no, and during the pandemic, it was at its fever pitch. That because a lot of people online and a lot of people in K-pop were dating people surreptitiously on the low. But this is when this shit I saw got to a fever pitch when during the pandemic. So I can tell y'all I started to ramp up around there. And it's just gotten worse ever since then. There's always been, room, but none of this makes any logic sense to me at all. It's like all the BTS shippers and they still shipping Jimin with a pleat Metaloop. Don't tell me about the shippers. Please let's not mention those. Because the shippers came to my page and was upset because I'm like, okay, Jimin dated this actress, or she was the jump off. She was. All the shippers would come to me. The shippers got so bad, they was in my. I had to delete a bunch of comments in my comment sections because the V shippers and the Jungkook shippers were fighting each other. No, Jim is with V. No, he's with Jungkook. I don't know. I'm like, I'm reading my comment section like this. Yes, they got upset at me. And I come with receipts. I'm like, here's the statement that HYBE made. Here's the links. Here's the statement. This is what I'm telling you. They had some sort of thing. It was probably years ago. Wasn't anything serious. I don't know what this chick motivation was for even being with Jimin in the first fucking place. I hate to put on my conspiratorial tinfoil hat, but this person may have been a clout chaser from the fucking get-go. I've said this. I was like, I don't know her motivation for being with him in the first place. They weren't together like some serious, I love you, baby, I would love you. I don't think it was none of that. I think it was, they was going out, hanging out, on some dates. They may have slept together a few times, blah, blah, blah. They do what grown people was doing. And she took advantage of this. On purpose? I feel so. In my opinion, I think she took advantage of Jimin on purpose. I think she took pictures behind his back. I think she took video and shoved cameras in his face on the cool. And I don't know. Because like I went and looked at the pictures in the video and I was like, it looked like she's taking these pictures and videos when he ain't around. Or he don't know about it. Or his back is turned. That's what it seemed like to me. I said, it seemed like she's trying to hem him up on something. It seemed like she was doing this on the low, like trying to be sneaky about it. But these fools got in my comment section and was fighting. Fighting. And I'm reading this going, what the hell is happening? I'm like, okay. And then some of them were saying bad things about Jimin. And I was like, oh no, hell, you ain't come in my comment section finna talk bad about Jimin. He didn't do anything. It's not his fault. And they were mad at Jimin, and they were mad at V, and they were mad at Jungkook. So people were coming to my comment section and saying bad things. I have a golden K-pop video that went micro viral. It has like over 70,000 views. They were in my comment section talking bad about JK, and I had to delete them and block these people because of the fallout from all of that. They were going to my JK videos and saying bad things about JK that I had to delete. They go to my Jimin videos and I have the comments held for certain words because I know how they start talking. And then I go in there and delete their comments and I shadow ban their asses from my video because they were going in there saying bad things about Jimin, bad things about V, bad things about Jungkook, and I'm not allowing none of it. Y'all take y'all crazy shipping asses on somewhere else. And I had to do a whole video where I came out and was like, don't come to my channel talking about this shit. I did a whole video because I'm like, don't come here and spread and get on my videos and talk bad about JK when there's no reason to talk bad about JK. JK did nothing to nobody. There's no reason to talk bad about V. There's no reason to talk bad about Jimin like he did something criminal. Don't come to my video. And I did a whole video saying this is a Delulu free zone. Y'all see the video. Some of y'all are here because y'all watched that video. And that's who I was talking to because people were in my comment section. I'm having to delete and shadow ban people and block people like crazy. Because I'm like, yeah, this chick did Jimin dirty and blah, 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 blah. And these people were upset that I implied that maybe possibly Jimin is dating a girl and he's not dating Jungkook and V, even though there's no evidence that he's dating Jungkook and V. So I just got tired of it. And I was like, don't come to my channel with that. Because I'm not going to let you badmouth BTS members in my comment section. I'm just not. Especially when my videos it wasn't even about that. They come, if you look on my channel, there's a Jungkook video of him singing Golden from Weverse that has like, I don't know, tens and thousands of views. These people, I've had to get in my comment section and I delete comments literally every other day about people talking about Jungkook can't sing, he's horrible. But no, delete. No, you're not gonna do that. That's what we're not gonna do. Delete. I don't care if that's your opinion. Delete. I'll delete your comment. Don't come in my video. JK was having fun. He was singing Golden. He was singing Soda Pop. He was just having fun. It was his birthday. You gonna come to JK's birthday stream and drag JK on my channel? Okay, no, that's what we're not gonna do. We're not gonna do that. So yes, these people were coming for me in my comment section, and I was like, oh no, y'all crazy. So yes, the Delulu shippers got on my last nerve, and so I had to block them left and right. So I understand that how dating rumors can spark insanity, especially when it comes to BTS. I didn't understand, but I understand now. I didn't really understand, but I get it now. But yes, the evidence that fans have provided that V is dating this chick from IVE is nothing. There's no evidence. The pictures don't even match up. The dates and the times and the things that and again, I'm gonna do a whole video talking about this and why is this a thing in K-pop, and I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't understand it because there's a lot of reasons why I don't understand it because I understand it logically it makes no sense. I tell the biggest reason why it logically makes no sense. What I can tell you because I'm gonna do a whole video about this and go off because BTS and a lot of K-pop people don't post things on their social media. People take pictures, they may send pictures, they have media managers. All of BTS I know for almost a fucking fact have media managers. Now they have access to their public accounts and they can post things whenever they want to. BTS is to the upper echelon of the company. They can post things whenever they want to because they know that they're going to be professional. But for the most part, when you do see things posted on their Instagram or X or whatever, I would say 80% of the time it's a media manager or they've sent the videos and the pictures to a media manager. So they don't take their time out to post the things themselves. They have media managers that handle that. So the idea that somebody is going to post something when they're on the date with somebody is asinine and stupid in the first place because I'm like, if they're on a date with somebody, they're not going to take a picture and send it to their media manager. And they're not going to be on a date with somebody and then post it on their social media. It makes no sense. Another thing I tell people, just in case I'm going to talk about my video, most 99.999% of K-pop stars have private accounts. They do. JK has private accounts. I've heard that JK has several private accounts. They have private YouTube accounts. They have private IG accounts, private TikTok accounts. Some of them have multiple accounts. Some of them have private accounts just for their friends and family. Some of them have accounts that they want to go on there and they troll. And yes, I'm going to tell you, some of the K-pop singers troll. Some of the K-pop singers will troll. They will troll. They'll get on your post and say crazy stuff. And not anything malicious, but just if they read something that they don't like, some of them will just ignore it, but some of them will get on their private accounts and they will say things like, no, that's not true. And you're way off base or something like that. So some of them are trolls. So I tell people, if you're dating someone, there is no reason to go on your official Instagram account and post anything about that date. They have private Instagram accounts that they talk to their friends and family, and their family can get a hold of them and DM them, and then they have Kakao, well, or at least did, but where they can message each other back and forth on Kakao and post things. I just don't understand the logic behind that. There is no reason, if I'm dating somebody and I'm trying to keep a secret from the public, which they will, because they will get dragged for dating, that why would I in turn, and why would he or she post anything where we're in the same place? Because K-pop singers know if they do post stuff like this, that it's going to get picked up. I don't see what would be the reason. Now, the only difference is if you're dating somebody and they're mad at you. Now, if you're dating somebody, you broke up with the person, or y'all had a falling out or something, or you found out this dude cheating on you, then yes, you may go online and post something sneakily and kind of hint because you're mad at the person. But if both of y'all are dating, let's just say you're not mad at each other, you didn't have a horrible breakup, you're both just dating. You're not going to post anything wearing the same sweater, wearing the same ring, wearing the same shoe. Why would you get on your well-known account? And I don't see the logic reason behind that. What is the reason? They have private accounts. They have private Instagram accounts where they can be like, here's me and my boo hugged up. I like they have private accounts where they can post pictures of their relationships to their family and friend if they choose to do so. They exchange each other's social media. They have private social media accounts that they can post pictures of them at a date. They can post pictures of them, family, all their family and friends know that they're dating this person if they choose to release that information to their family and friends. It makes no sense for me to be a K-pop singer and me dating a male K-pop singer, and we are on a date, and I'm gonna pull out my phone and take a picture. If I was with that person, I'd be like, what you doing? Why? It makes no sense. Why would we take out a picture? Like, why would we even, like, you would be like, I hope you plan to put that on your private account. I hope you ain't taking pictures of us and putting it on your real account. You would be horrified that either one of you are going to be posting things on your regular account. It would be a sense of panic to go on a date with somebody and them like, oh, I'm going to post this on my Instagram account. Wait, which Instagram account are you posting it on? Hold on. Why? That would be no logic, because you know that people are going to put two and two together and you're going to be found out. So there is no reason why anybody would be dating anybody and post clues like this is I Spy with my little eye. Like this is like some kind of fun game that do they want to play with the fans? It's their private life. Why would they even play around like that? You wouldn't. Now, like I said, there's some extenuating circumstances where exes have gotten mad at somebody and they have posted things on their social media accounts that kind of blew up because they were exes, because they were jilted, they were cheated on, they were dumped, something, they were mad. But barring that, if V was dating this chick from IVE, if they wouldn't even, he wouldn't even have posted that day if he was on a date with her. You understand what I'm saying? There would be no reason for him to even post a date. He doesn't have to post. Why would he be like, okay, you take a picture of your drink and then I'll take a picture of mine and you post today, I'll post today, And then 10 days from now, you'll post the same picture. I'll say the same. What, do y'all understand? That sounds crazy. That doesn't even logically. And then, like I said, the biggest issue is they have media managers that do this. They're not posting their own shit, y'all. Hello, ATP 86 girl. I'm about to get off here in a minute. But yeah, it makes no sense that they would even. K-pop idols do not like dating rumors, y'all. K-pop idols do not like scandal. There is this other narrative going around that K-pop idols purposely post things to get interest. No, that is not that. I've never seen any evidence. Talk to anybody in the industry where that has ever been the thing. That K-pop idols are gonna post fake pictures and stir up dating rumors. That is nothing fun for idols. It is not fun. It is an invasion of privacy. They don't, even if it's not true, they get annoyed. Most K-pop idols get annoyed with that. They don't like people talking about they're dating somebody and that person's not even dating. Because again, the thing that people don't think about is that what if V is really dating somebody? So let's just say V is dating somebody, somebody not this Ive. When this shit comes up, or what? Let's just say Ive was dating somebody. Ive has a boyfriend, so the Ive chick got a boyfriend. Let's just say. So when this shit come up, her man looking at her like, so V from BTS, like what man in their right mind would not feel some type of way if your girl is rumored to date V from BTS? What man wouldn't be in their feelings? What man is not gonna look at that girl like, so were y'all at the same place or not? Or not? Have you met V? And then the poor Ive girl is like, okay, honey, look, this is a dating rumor. I don't know V. I've only met him a few times. We weren't at the same. Do y'all understand what I'm telling you? Dating rumors is not something to kiki and caw over. There are people, relationships that have been severely hurt by multiple dating rumors. And again, when both people are single, it still can ruin their reputation and their career. But because fans will come for them, people will posting on social media, it becomes a headache. But the biggest thing is that a lot of times these artists are dating other people. And so they've kept their real relationship hush hush. And so when these rumors pop up, the other person is looking at them like, or let's just say V really is dating somebody. She looking at him like, oh, girl from Ive. Is this true? Like, cause again, as anybody is anybody, you're gonna ask them about it. You're gonna ask them about it. I don't think any person, I don't care what culture, what race, what language you speak. If you hear that your man is dating somebody, especially another K-pop singer, you gonna be like, so, and you may not believe it, but in your heart of hearts, you still gonna ask the question. So I saw this rumor online, and this is funny, right? It's just, yeah, his Ive. Do you know her? Do you see? When's the last time you talked to her? You're still gonna ask the question, especially when you're dealing with somebody that's super uber famous like V. You're gonna ask the question, even if you're a regular person. You still are gonna ask the question. So what's going on? Why am I hearing this rumor? And then you're still gonna go online. You're gonna look at the clues, and you're gonna be looking and like, and you may think it's utterly completely ridiculous. But at the end of the day, it still can cause friction within your relationship. Yes, any normal person would ask. Are you celebrating your uncle's 70th year? Oh, well, hey, uncle. Get down, uncle. A juicy getting it. A juicy getting it. Oh, go ahead, uncle. Yeah, any normal person, Marie, would. Tell your uncle, happy birthday, uncle. But yeah, any normal person would ask. You would just be curious. And then, like I said, depending on the person and what the status of relationship, there may already be suspicion and jealousies. They're already having a partner as a K-pop singer, whether they be male or female. You already in your mind, you're already thinking this person may leave me for somebody else, or this person may be dating another K-pop singer. And so you may already feel some type of way anyway. And so I tell people these dating rumors are not something that I've heard ridiculous explanations. Oh, well, they released dating rumors. I'm like, why would any K-pop singer want to stoke a dating rumor? They don't. They want their private life to be private. And again, like I tell people, the idea that these dating Where's Waldo expeditions, I Spy, I'm finna play detective are just harmless. I'm like, you don't know what's really going on. Again, you may be dealing with people of different sexualities. You may be dealing with all kinds of things. I don't know if this odd girl, I don't know if she's straight, gay, or what. I don't know if V's straight, gay, or what. So you may be dealing with a dating room of somebody who's LGBTQIA, and they reading this going, well, this is ridiculous. Like, and they may be offended. Like, well, damn, like, okay, I gotta be linked to every chick I see. You don't know what's going down in their bedroom or what kind of sexuality they have. So the idea that you are saying these things, you could be causing more problems than other than just their careers. You could be causing real life problems in their relationships, in their marriages, whoever. They could be just starting to talk to somebody and see somebody, and then this pop up. And so that may have the other person doubting them, like, should I even talk to them? Because, girl, they saying he out here dating this other girl. And so you think, well, should I even talk to this person now? Like, I don't know, girl. So I tell people these true crime investigations and these pictures, or this person was at this museum a month ago, and then 3 months later, this person was at the same museum. I'm like, okay, like they can go to, or this person's wearing this shirt, and then this other person got this shirt on. They did a picture 2 weeks later, and they had the same shirt on, or they're wearing boyfriend rings or girlfriend rings. I'm like, I don't. Again, this is one thing in K-pop. I don't know where people start doing this or why this started. But to me, it didn't really start until like 2020, when people were stuck at home and people were just grasping for straws about whether somebody's dating or not. And that's when these things, they crop up every once in a while with various artists. And I just, like I said, I want to do a video and going into it because people don't understand what they're doing. Like, people don't understand that, like, okay, you are really fucking up people's real lives. Like, you're messing up people's careers, and you're causing people to come to their page, and the haters and the jealousy. They was running to this IVE girl's page and cussing her out. And she probably like, I didn't even do anything. So they was going on her armies, these anti-fans, these shippers were, these toxic fans was going to her social media and saying bad things about her and calling her all kinds of names. And I know V ain't dating you. And so she's not gonna respond. She can't respond. So it's like, you affecting this artist's mental health. She's being harassed by people. She's getting messages. She's being, Marilyn Hicks said 100% agree. So this poor IVE girl been getting harassed by crazy shippers and toxic fans and Delulu fans over something that she ain't even did. And then on top of that, I think that, like, the part that never gets discussed is like, okay, but what if she really is dating somebody? What if this IVE chick, I don't know which one it is, what if she really gay and she dating somebody and somebody's like, are you the man? Like, I thought we was together. Like, I thought you was gay. Like, what problems? Or if she is dating a dude, maybe she been dating the same dude off and on for years. We don't know. You gonna be messing up her relationship. Now she got to come up with answers. Not only the anti-fans dragging her, but then on top of that, she may be in a relationship or talking to somebody, and then that person is going, well, explain, well, are you really seeing V? And then if she say, no, I'm not, maybe that person in the back of their mind, they're like, okay, well, I accept it. But then they may be thinking, well, but why wouldn't she though? Like, why wouldn't she date it's V from BTS? Why wouldn't she date him? Or maybe she just telling me she not really dating him, but she really lying. You know what I'm saying? So again, nobody I've seen videos about these dating rumors have ever brought up these points. Because again, like I said, from the people that I know inside the industry, they brought up these points. They're like, you do know people's relationships have ended because of dating rumors. That people have gotten into arguments about dating rumors. There's artists out there that have multiple dating rumors with different people. And the person that they were dating for a long time is like, I'm tired of you having all these dating rumors. You have to be cheating on me. And they broke up with him. And then this person wasn't cheating. They were just subject. There was no proof. There was no pictures. There was no dispatch, write up, nothing. It was just people putting two and two together. And it wasn't even about that. And it wasn't nothing was true. And this person had to defend themselves over and over again against their boyfriend. And then eventually the boyfriend's like, I'm tired of this lifestyle. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of reading Korean media and you're linked to this guy and that guy and that guy. And they relationship had to be secret and they were tired of it and then they broke up. So she lost somebody that she was with off and on for a while. I won't say what person it was, but she lost somebody she was with on and off for a long time, for like 5 or 6 years. And it's a pretty well-known K-pop star. But she still, every once in a while, she'll be linked to a different K-pop singer or actor or something. And none of it was true. She had been dating the same guy for 5 or 6 years. And so she lost her relationship over it. And people just kiki and think it's funny. And then the clues were nothing. It was nothing that she was doing. A lot of these stars hang out in the same places. They recommend the same places to other people. They recommend the same shops and boutiques to people. They hang out in these same places. So just because one person's at a concert and then they tried to say that V was dating somebody else because this dancer, because they were both at a Tyler the Creator concert. I'm like, okay, but Tyler the Creator concert, there was a lot of people, a lot of K-pop singers and not that were there. It wasn't just V and RM and J-Hope and this dancer. They tried to link this dancer to V too. They were at the K-pop. They ran into each other at the Tyler the Creator concert. They couldn't even say hi to each other because they know if they would have said hi to each other, it would have sparked a dating rumor. So people be accusing people of dating people because they at the same concert or the same football game with thousands and hundreds of other people. And I'm like, you do know there's other K-pop singers there. It wasn't just RM. It was other people. It was Cordis was there. There was some members of Stray Kids were there. There was a bunch of people at that Tyler the Creator concert. It wasn't just BTS and Cordis and this choreographer. There's a lot of choreographers. There's a lot of K idols, K rappers that were there. So just because these people be in the same spot, people are like, oh, they must be dating because they were at the same. I'm like, because they said hi to each other at a concert? Oh, hey. Well, they expect to say hi to each other. Or they can't, they have to ignore. But then if they go past each other and ignore each other, then they're like, oh, they must be dating because they didn't say hi and they were ignoring each other. Okay, well, which one is it? If they would have said hi, they dating. If they would have ignored each other, not said anything, they're dating. So either way, I guess you just can't be in another space with somebody you've worked with before, collaborated with before, danced with before, because people are going to accuse you of dating them. If you've ever met this person ever before in a professional capacity, you're automatically subjected to a dating rumor. Like, so I'm going to do a whole video talking about how absurd this is and what havoc this has wreaked have in K Idols' lives, because it has. And people don't talk about it. I'm like, y'all understand that this havoc, that this is causing a person to have, or both parties to have issues in dating. You know, like bad enough they don't want to be found out, but then they got to deal with rumors with people that they don't even, sometimes they don't even know these people. They're like, I don't barely even know this person. Yeah, they can't even say hi to each other. Or Maryland, they can't ignore each other. If they work together and they ignore each other, or maybe they just didn't see each other. Maybe they were busy and walking, and the other one saw, maybe one of them saw the other one, but the other one didn't see him. Then they dating. So if they don't say hi, they dating. If they say hi, they're dating. Well, they're trying to ignore each other on purpose because they're really there on a date. And I'm like, K-Idols don't even, I'm like, where, K-Idols don't even do that, y'all. I don't know where this came from. That idols go to events and they're on a date, but then they don't sit together. I don't know who put that rumor out there. This doesn't happen as often as people think it does. From what I've been told, people in the industry are like, that's just something weird that fans made up. Because it doesn't really happen. Because if they want to go on a date, they will go on a date. They will not go to a concert and be up in the camera and post things on social media like RM, J-Hope, and V did at Tyler, the Creator. They went backstage and met him. They posted things. They were videoed there. If they wanted to be, I tell people, if K-pop idols want to be inconspicuous and secretive, they will be. They know how to play the game. Don't y'all ever think that these K idols don't know how to date in secret. They do. They know where to go and how to show up. They understand it. If it's a boys' night out with all three of them, they understand that they're going to get recognized, all of them together. But there are other places that they can go just by themselves and another person, and they will never be recognized, whether they be in Korea or somewhere else. These idols know how to date in secret. There's tips and tricks and things that they have learned through the industry, especially if you've been in the industry a long time, like BTS, how to date and not be found out. Because again, they have dated people, y'all, but they have not been found out and there's various reasons for that and various theories. But K idols do date, but they are inconspicuous with it. They are very good at what they do. And so the idea that, this is like they're just going on events together. I was like, and then they're posting on social media about them being at the event. Oh, I said this is absurd. Marilyn says she can't wait for the video. I'm gonna do the video. I'm gonna do that video this week. Because again, I have a lot of points to pop up that I promise you that y'all never thought of. That y'all been like, I never thought about it like that. Because yeah, I've asked people, well, does this really happen? Because I didn't know either. And I asked people in the industry, does this really happen? Or this is really happening? And they're like, let me tell you stuff. Let me tell you how it really goes down. They're like, no, these are just they're like, and they're baffled too as to how fans thought this is how things go. And I think fans have just thought up theories and people have just ran with it. But I don't know where these narratives come from, but these narratives are not right. There are some of them have a small ring of truth to it, but for the most part, I'm like, it's not what people think it is. I'm like, no, that's not what they know. And I don't know how these narratives got started that this is how idols date. And I'm like, that's not how idols date. This is not how, no, that's not how it goes. So, yeah, and they deserve to have a private life. And they should have, and they do. And for the most part, they can, and they do. But it's just like the idea that idols are stupid and they're gonna put their business out there on social media. I'm like, what? Like, why would they take videos and put it on social media? It doesn't make no sense. Them themselves. Why would they have a staff member take pictures and videos of them somewhere, knowing they're on a date with somebody else? That makes no. Why would RM and V and J Hope be out together having a boys' night out, but V is the only one on a date? Like, I don't. What? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. Why would they even go out with him, knowing that he's on a date? If they're gonna date, it's gonna be just them two. It's not gonna be we're gonna go on a date, but then RM and J Hope is gonna come along too. That doesn't make any sense. Like, he's gonna go. If he's gonna go on a date, or any one of them's gonna go on a date, they're gonna go on a date. They're going to be privately on a date. They're not going to bring other members of BTS with them that they know that everybody's going to recognize. That would be the dumbest move ever if you're trying to keep things secret. Why would you? It'd be like me trying to go on a date and let me bring my friend Sabrina Carpenter with me. Come on, girl. Everybody can recognize you and know, who is she with over here? Oh, well, don't worry about me. Like, you would go someplace low profile and you'd be real low key about it. You would wear a hoodie. You would be real low key about it. Put a mask on. If they want to be low key, they'll be low key. So I'm gonna do that video. But anyway, y'all, it's time for me to go. Marie, Marilyn, Kim, everybody, ATP 86 out there partying. Of course, AK and everybody else that's been on here. All Metaloop, Shelling P, Delilah Smith. Everybody that's been here, I appreciate it. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and to the video. And I'm going to go and watch me some Run BTS or do some other things and get ready to go to bed. Yeah. Good night, y'all. I'm going to bed. Like I said, I will be posting things on Monday. So y'all wait for Monday. Y'all gonna take a look at my shorts. Y'all comment. It pushes the engagement so everybody else can find my videos and stuff like that. I've been working hard. Y'all, I work round the clock on this YouTube channel, this YouTube thing. So I'm working hard, y'all. For y'all, I'm working hard. I like what I do. I like making content, but I appreciate everybody. I appreciate my members. Again, I appreciate you guys going to my shop and store. Make sure you check out my shop. Make sure you become a member, where I will have much more K-pop gossip. If I get enough members, I will do a live stream where we'll talk nothing but gossip. Once I get enough members, then I will have a whole live stream where I'll just gossip. But anyway, in the meantime, y'all, I am out of here. You guys have a good night. Peace. Mickey.